Are you ready, Internet? It's the Collective Games Cast. It's episode 39. It's our big E3 reaction show. We're coming to you live on twitch.tv/the_Malgadar, just like we do every week. And let's jump into the hangout here, because we got Chris with us and we got Matt with us again. Guys, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
Nothing, just telling everybody that they're listening to Collective Games Cast, you know? Podcast that's like an orgasm for your ears.
Oh, that's the best way to describe this.
Oh, man. Okay, what's going on, ASD? Good to see you in the chat, man. Show off. Total jelly. I want 4 monitors, man.
I don't know what I would do with 4, man.
Oh, easy. You do 3, you get like that full, like, you know, like 2070 something by 1080 widescreen, and then you have the accessory monitor. It's beautiful, man.
See, I would rather have like a third one. Like I have 2 now. A third one would be nice. Then I'd have like a PC monitor over here, and then, you know, the rest for some other things. Yeah.
Actually, I used to talk to a guy who had the 3 monitor setup, and then he had like a 42-inch TV on top of all of them as his accessory monitor.
I saw that on Reddit today.
I was like, dude, I was like, you are awesome. Like, that's just such a brilliant idea, you know. And I will definitely get Alex to show me that at work. Yo, what's up, Nicole? Good to see you. I hope your cat isn't eating your pizza or whatever else you're snacking on during the show.
So random. But alright.
Yo, it's my show. Problem? I'll be as fucking random as I want to be. For real, man. Pistachio ice cream, baller. Anyway, yeah. So, I guess the essentials, right? Let's knock this out real quick because we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Collective Games Cast. You can find us collectivegc.com. We host a podcast over there. Maybe one of these days I'll start writing shit, scare all you people away. You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, all them other podcast services that aren't big enough to get their name mentioned here. Just search Collective Games Cast. And we already gave the Twitch, so we're good there. We got people in the chat. Feel free to hit us up. We like the interactive discussion. Gamescast is like a fucking open invite party, man. So, like, you know, do it. If you're shy, you can always ask a question at collectivegamescast@gmail.com. We'll just read it out on the show like that. That's more your thing. You know, being shy is cool. It's fine. All right. So do we got to get to this Game of Thrones or what? Because, like...
Yeah, man.
The shit was
thinking I'm finally decompressed. Like, it's...
Dude, I had the shakes, like, through half that episode. And not just because I was hungry. Like, that shit was insane.
When she hopped on the dragon, man, I was, like, fully wrecked. And then it just never left that whole episode. Like, it was just, like, the whole episode just sitting there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. That might be the best episode.
Of all the episodes for me to miss out of the season, this was like the worst one ever.
This probably was, man. So much shit happened.
Yeah, like either of the past 2 would have been fine to miss. This one is like, what are you doing? Like, this was...
Yeah, dude, you could have missed last one and been fine.
Yeah,
wow. That's okay. You know, you see it. It's not going anywhere, right? So
yeah, dude.
All right, so you want to just start at the top then? I mean, they only touched 2 storylines all night, so we could pretty much...
3.
3 was the third one.
The Theon and Yara.
Oh, well, that kind of crossed paths, though, so...
Yeah, so we've converged into one.
All right, so how about we do it like this, all right? We'll talk the Daenerys stuff, the stage 1, and then we'll talk the stage 2 with Theon and Yara, and then we'll just get back to all the other stuff.
Winterfell. Alright.
Alright, so we started with the Siege of Meereen, right?
Yep.
That little repartee between Tyrion and Daenerys was very interesting, because it's seldom you see Tyrion in this state where he's kind of like, I
worried.
fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? And he's talking about the city is thriving as they're being bombarded. It was great.
Great. That's why they're attacking, man. That's what happened, right?
Yeah.
But what I hated was that she comes back pissed off, like, what happened to my city? He's like, bitch, you ran off on a dragon. Like, what? You weren't even there to rule, and this dude's been like keeping your shit up, or at least trying.
Yeah,
Like,
hey man,
you left.
just trying to keep the sinking ship afloat, right?
You left, man. Get the fuck out of here. Have some type of sympathy. Nope, Daenerys always got to be angry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and you know what was funny too? I loved when he came back at Daenerys and was like, you know, your dad was kind of like that.
yeah,
You know, and I was like, oh
yeah.
shit, like he done fucked her up, like, you know,
Yeah.
like that's like, I don't know, that's just like right to the heart, you know, like no joke.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he talks about a new approach, and they go to the meeting with like the masters and all, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Don't forget you come from crazy. So true, so true. You know. Yeah, so they have the meeting with the masters, and that was a thing.
That was pretty cool, man. I love that we want to talk surrender, and they immediately like, ha, we got this, guys. We're all done. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Daenerys turned that around real quick. I was wondering when that was going to get played in. Like, when were the Dothraki going to come in? When we're going to see some dragons coming in? I was waiting for it.
Yeah, the Dothraki got there pretty quick. I gotta admit that.
Yep.
I mean, they did not waste their time getting there. And I was wondering when the dragons were. Well, first off, I was wondering when the other two dragons were going to show up, and they
Yep.
did. And then I was wondering when are they going to start setting fire to some ships.
That's, dude, the whole first, like, 5 minutes, I was like, I better see some dragons doing some shit. We didn't kill off Summer, the only CGI element of the whole, like, first half of the season. Like, we didn't cut this out for nothing, man. We need to see some damn dragons. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, and God knows they keep killing wolves. Like, what are the CGI dudes doing? You
Yeah.
know? Like, they got to be up to something. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, no, that was, yeah, no, that was cool. So, like, they kind of got, you know, leveled the playing field a bit. And I love Grey Worm just, like, just taking the two dudes out in one stroke. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, that was just beautiful.
It was good stuff, man. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we could have used more dragon action. I'm definitely thinking that. I guess the thought was because it sounds like when they get back to it later that they spared a bunch of the ships to keep for themselves.
Oh, yeah, they spared some
Yeah.
ships, and then they got more, so they're fucking set.
Doing pretty good, yeah.
Time for Season 7, Westeros.
Yeah. So, part 2 of the Daenerys storyline was... Geez, I'm totally blanking here. When they meet up with Theon and Yara.
Yep.
And what was great was the Theon and Tyrion start, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was pretty cool, you know? Because he's like, the last time I saw you, you know, you were a bit more smug. Yeah. So, that was a pretty interesting give and take there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of felt like it kept shifting back and forth. And
What was surprising was that...
yes, it was, Nicole. Like, that was a great dialogue.
Dude, I'm with ASD, man. I thought some shit's gonna go down. Like...
I try to be better than this, but damn, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I'm telling you, man. That's not gonna be a bad scene.
Yeah, I don't know, though. That was the thing. I didn't quite get that rub. Like...
Oh, the way she was laughing, like...
Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of took that as a, like, oh, that's cute, but no.
Nah, that laugh, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah.
But I was surprised that Theon didn't, like, back down when Tyrion was coming at him.
No, he didn't. He was pretty...
'Cause,
He came pretty real with it, you know.
Stood his ground, man.
And, I like that Daenerys, like, looked to Tyrion, like, if it was a good idea to make the deal, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was kind of a
She
cool thing.
actually
She just kind of
trusted
gave
dude,
that little
yeah.
look over the shoulder, like, what do you think, you know?
Yep.
And I like that, you know, Yar and Theon were kind of in a position where it was like, no raping, no looting, no pillaging, you know, and it was like, well, we're not going to get a better deal from our crazy uncle, so I guess we better take it. You know,
Like,
because they're sitting there looking at each other for a second. I'm like, what better options do you have?
You
Like,
just traveled all the way over here to be like, nah, fuck that. I love raping. Nope. You better take this deal right now, man. Just take it.
yeah. And I guess now's a great segue for this, but my wife made mention to this at the end of the show because you see like Daenerys and Yara, and then you start seeing like Sansa really kind of like taking control of things in Winterfell by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And you know, she said, "Hey, it's like all chicks." And I said, "Are you seeing like a scenario where it's the queens of Westeros, like?" Because it looks like it's turning in that direction.
Yeah, because the only person who is the rightful heir to the Stark throne, is Bran, and Bran's become the three-eyed raven. So,
yeah.
I guess we're stuck on Sansa.
Oh my God, we figured it out. That's what the whole series is about. Yeah.
The Queens of Westeros reality show.
Oh man, the Real Housewives of Westeros, you know, like
oh boy,
it's a thing. Totally, you know. You could probably do a whole like slew of reality shows based around it, right? Like, you know, like Dorn Shore and all kinds of stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The Real World, The Wall, you know. It could totally work. Yeah. Oh, jeez. So yeah. So we got all that. You know, Daenerys looks like her position's getting stronger now. She's got the ships.
Mm-hmm.
And if these rumors of next season being the last season are true, that would seem to make sense, right? Like, time to go back to Westeros and kick some ass, you know?
Time to head back in.
Yeah. So, on to the Winterfell storyline, then. So, the first thing they show us is Jon and Ramsay meeting to parlay. Like, that is not what I would have expected. Like, definitely not the way I thought it would go. And that was pretty interesting, you know. Jon offering single combat.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking with that, but alright.
As much as I hated Ramsay, like, his dialogue and the way he, like, toyed with people was really fascinating, you know. In a sick and disgusting kind of way, but,
it's
you know.
the truth, man.
Yeah, like, because just any conversation with him, you were just like, what's he going to do next? What's he going to do next, you know? So, it had a very, I don't know. It just had a very morbid kind of curiosity for me.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that, his whole dialogue with people. That's one thing.
We'll always have the memories of the good times, Chris. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to try to get under Ramsay's skin. And of course he wears other people's skin. That's why they flay everyone. You know, they need more skin, you know.
Yep. Oh
yeah,
man.
he really did try, didn't he?
Dude.
You know. So let's move through things. I kind of like the little battle plan scene in the tent. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a really good one because that battle plan was shit.
Well, it seemed okay considering the circumstances, you know, being outnumbered that much. But I just loved when Sansa came up and was like, the fuck? Why don't you care what I think? Like, you know, just because I got boobs doesn't mean I can't think, you know? Yeah. And I just kind of liked her smacking Jon up a little bit like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was pretty nice to see.
You knew Jon would get played, though. See, and I said this. Sansa is the only one of, like, the Stark kids who understands what it takes to get shit done, you know?
Except she doesn't let anybody know about the veil. That shit was annoying me. Like, I get it. You're not 100% sure. But that would have helped, you know, boost a little morale. Because they pretty much knew they were going in about to get their asses kicked. Like, they knew that, but they were hoping that something good would happen out of it. At least they tried. But, like, just like a little, like, hey, guess what? There's this guy named Littlefinger. You might know him. He might be coming up with the veil. Like, all the
I don't know.
armies.
Do you think Jon would have been cool with that? He might have been like, you know, Fucking.
What does John have against Littlefinger besides
I
he
don't
was
know.
there?
I'm trying to think.
He was there, and he played in Ned Stark's death. Like, that's the only thing, and I don't even know if John knows that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go back and think of, like, all the things. But
Like, the only people that would know anything about him is maybe Davos, maybe?
yeah,
Like, no one else knows who he is, so just by releasing that information,
it's
that would have helped.
complicated. But you're right. He might not know enough. He might just know him for being kind of one of those information guys that you might not be able to trust. You know.
Yep, that is one thing.
I mean, that might be about it, and that's a bit of a reach, to be fair, though.
He
Oh,
wants
dude.
to be.
Yeah,
It's the truth, though, man.
You know, he's got the little goatee, man. Never trust guys with goatees.
Is that the thing?
That's a Life is Strange reference, man. Gotta play the fucking game, dude. I don't, you know. It's like $2 an episode. Get off your ass. You know. Hey, man. Watch it with the bashing Peter Baelish. That's my favorite character right there.
See, the thing is, you can trust Littlefinger. Cool. You can trust him as long as you know what his motives are.
As long
he's
as
gonna
you
use
fit into his plans, you
yeah,
can
like
trust
if you fit in his plans, then you can trust him. And the people that fight against him should realize, like, yo, this is probably like this will benefit you too. Somebody just want to go along with it.
Yeah, and you kind of saw in the preview for next week, he's kind of like, yo, I want to make Stark babies. Like, let's go.
I didn't even see the preview, but I imagined that was going to be the next step.
Yeah,
I usually don't watch the preview right after.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. But, yeah. No, I would not leave a kid with Peter Baelish either. Especially if he could flip him for something of value.
Trying to train him to be just like him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'd go to his school of, like, deception and, you know, maneuvering.
Nah. Oh, no, yes, I would definitely go to a school. But I can't tell you, man, I'm usually not that excited to. Like, I like him as a character, but usually when he pops up, you know some shady shit's about to happen. But this was, like, a very refreshing, like, alright, thank you, Littlefinger.
Yeah.
John was getting trampled.
Oh, yeah, it was getting bad. Yeah. After the battle plan, we had the scene with Davos and Mr. Wildling there.
Yo, I gotta stop you for a second just to bring out the Cavs won.
No way.
Cavs won, 93-89.
Wow.
ESPN is probably shitting themselves right now, trying to make up excuses.
I don't know.
73-9. Nope.
I'll tell you what. A couple things. One, the thought that a team could come back from a 3-1 deficit and then blow a 3-1 lead in back-to-back rounds is incredibly hard to fathom. But I don't know. The Warriors just seemed so beat up.
Dude, they were tired, man.
Like, the gauntlet of the Western Conference is just so much harder. Like, the Cavs had, like, no resistance to the finals, so...
No.
Now, last year they had a lot of bad luck, and this year they had no resistance, so I guess it evens out.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Warriors. I like what they're doing, but quite frankly, Cleveland's a tortured city like Philadelphia, so I dig that they finally got something, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I don't really have a horse in the race, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a big LeBron fan. I feel like
I was going for Cleveland this whole time.
Yeah, I feel like LeBron is like Peyton Manning. He's one of them guys who can only win when everything goes his way, you know?
Or if he stays in the East and win, because he can always go to the finals no matter what team he is on in the East.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know. Whatever. Good for them. Good for Cleveland, man. That's a city that deserves a celebration, so, you know.
Do they deserve it?
Yeah, they've been pretty tortured. Oh, you don't remember the 80s, though. You don't remember, like, the good Browns teams and all.
No, I don't think they deserve it.
I think they do. They've suffered enough.
All right.
And that's the sports segment. Back to Game of Thrones. Yeah. So Davos talks about, you know, how he likes to shit himself the night before a battle. That was kind of a funny little scene there.
Yep. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He also finds the fucking horse, or the stag.
Yes. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with what's coming up next week, but we'll get back to that. After that, we have a scene with John and Melisandre where, you know, he basically says, "Yeah, could you do me a favor and not like use a Phoenix down on me if I die again?" Like, like that would be really cool, you know.
Yep.
And that was kind of interesting because she's kind of like, "Hey, I can't do it if the God won't let me." Like, you know.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's not up to me, and I thought that was like really cool because that's pretty much the answer you would give in that situation. You know, like I'm gonna try. If he brings you back, it's not because of me. Like, you know, I am just the wrench. He is the mechanic. You know. So after I wanted to say that I was convinced that Ramsay was going to attack that night and not wait for the morning. I
thought there was going to be like a 20 good men thing again. That's what I was like. Okay. They're all chilling right now, getting ready for this battle, and then all of a sudden Ramsay's just going to light everything on fire. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. Glad it didn't.
Yeah, I just thought he was going to fuck with them. Like, oh, wait, I'll just attack you now. Like, I don't got to wait till the morning like you want, you know. But it didn't work out like that. And then they played the game.
Oh, God.
And that was messed up.
Dude, first off, let me just say, fuck the writers for giving us hope. Like, you guys are dicks. That's all I have to say.
And you know what was funny was, like, he misses the first few times, and you're like, oh, man. Yep. And, like, my thought was he was just going to let him get back there because he was that confident he would win, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's just toying with everybody. Like, he figures he's going to win. He's going to kill him anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of obvious when he was just, like, shooting with no aim.
Yeah, I know. He's like just looking at the dude next to him, like, no look shot.
Yep.
If I get lucky, I'll take it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then when he started aiming, that's when you knew it was like, yep, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the end.
And then you didn't even see him loose the one that did the damage, you know. And then everything goes foobar after that because it sets the battle off wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, it was kind of funny because I liked how at the night before, like, Sansa tried to basically tell him, like, yo, as far as we have to be concerned, like, Rickon is dead. Like, and she was trying to tell him, like, don't fucking fall for it, you know? And, you know, of course...
we know Starks are dumbasses. This is a normal thing. This is a trend in Game of Thrones.
Not Sansa. She gets it. She's been beaten and run through the ringer enough now that I feel like she gets it and understands how shit works, you know?
Yeah, I think a vicious rape will do that to you.
Yeah, you know, all that other stuff. Yeah, honor's only good if you're fighting honorable people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the battle, anything specific you want to bring up about that, Chris? Or anyone in the chat?
That was a beautifully seen battle. Like, whew.
Yeah, some of the filming in the beginning, like when they tried to do it from Jon's perspective with all the crazy shit happening around him, was really fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And first off, Jon, he has cheat codes, right? Dude must have put on God mode before this whole thing. Like, there's so many arrows, and Jon's like, oop, dodge those arrows.
It's a good day to die.
Dodge that. Dodge that. What?
He got lucky a few times, too.
Dude was pulling out trap cards, and, like, dude, unbelievable, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was... The way I loved when they set up that wall around them with the shield bearers and the spears. Dude. I was like, oh god, like they're done.
It's slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and the wall of bodies, man, like the wall of friggin' bodies was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, why can't the giant just like run through these guys and put a hole in this thing though? Like, you know. He could take 1,000 arrows, but God forbid he took 6 spears, you know?
Yeah, like he was supposed to be tanking, and he's not tanking. Maybe he was waiting on a healer. I don't know, man. Like, he just ran in there, man.
Yeah, I was like, why don't you just like pick up one of their guys and just use him as a weapon? Like, just he picks up one guy and rips him in half. I'm like, yo, that's a battering ram. Like, use him to put a hole in their defenses.
He ended up getting smart and picked up one of their shields and started bashing people. But
Yeah.
for the whole beginning, I was like, oh, dude could just like throw his body at them, and that's it. He's opened up a hole. It's all good.
Hey, my buddy Joe just sent me a message saying there's no more giants. That was the last one.
Yeah, that was the last giant.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize that. That sucks.
Yep.
Man, I like the giant, too.
Yeah, he was cool.
That was my boy.
I knew someone was going to die, but I didn't know who it was going to be. And I'm okay that it was 1-1, but it's sad.
Yeah.
It's like Tormund was getting wrecked. I thought that was it.
Yeah, I know. I loved how he turned that around real quick, too.
Fucking Mike Tyson'd him.
Yeah, take a bite out of crime, man. And it was funny because as things got really desperate in that battle, my wife's like screaming at the TV, "Where are the Knights of the Vale? Where are the Knights of the Vale?" She's getting like all upset, and I'm like, "They're coming, just hang on."
Dude, they held on to that for so long. Jon getting trampled, Tormund getting his ass whooped. Like, I was like, this is ridiculous. Something's got to happen, man. Something's got to happen. And
Heart
then it
Hagrid.
does.
Heart Hagrid. Yeah. Yeah, so the Knights of the Vale come, and I love how Ramsay runs back to Winterfell,
Yep.
Because my wife's like, oh, yeah, they're going to get him. I'm like, nah, he's going to run to Winterfell. And she's like, what? And I'm like, come on. He doesn't fight losing battles. He's going to run to Winterfell. And I love how
hold them off.
He's just like, yeah, they don't have enough men for a siege. And it's like, yeah, but Winterfell's never been attacked by a giant before either, so.
That was like an Avengers thing, man. We got a Hulk, we got a giant, man.
Yeah. Hulk smash.
Oh, man. See, that was quality tanking. See, he ran right in. He took all the brunt of the damage, and then all the DPS could run in and do their shit. Like, that was... Good job, 1-1. You did what you were supposed to do. You drew all the fire. Like you're supposed to, man.
Yeah, I mean, and he saw it coming, too.
He knew that was going to happen, yeah.
Yeah.
And that last shot straight to the eye? Yo.
And, that was Ramsay being kind and putting him out of his misery, right? He was suffering, and he said, hey, let's just...
He just wanted that one last thing, oh, I killed a giant. Right before he died, he's like, I did it, guys. I did it.
Oh, my God, he overextended and got kited. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, so... Then Jon, he went buck wild on Ramsay, man.
Oh, man. That was...
I mean, for real, man, he was like Ray Rice on his wife. Like, no joke.
Wow.
Yeah, I just went there, Chris.
Wow, man. Yeah. That was just brilliant thinking. Pick up the shield and just run at him.
That was crazy, man.
Arrow, man. Come on.
Yeah. No, he was beating the shit out of him.
Yep.
And then, he didn't finish the job, which kind of bothered me. Because I'm like...
It didn't bother me because I knew what was going to happen, man.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, but... I
knew it was going to be Sansa's turn. I just didn't know how she was going to do it.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you saw the dogs coming.
Oh, no. I just feel like she was going to walk over. Like, once Jon got up and they were showing it from, like, Ramsay's point of view, I thought she was just going to walk over and just, like, shank.
Yeah, but right. No, like, I thought they were just going to be like, end this now, Yep. But I guess at that point they oh, God. Wow. This episode has gotten macabre. Like, we got to get to the E3 stuff. This is getting bad.
Oh,
I started it, and now it's just spiraling out of control. Oh, man. That's what, again, I opened Pandora's box there, didn't I?
Oh, man. That was great.
No, what was great was when Sansa walked away and smiled like she was happy,
That when she stared him down as he was getting chewed the fuck up.
She wanted to know.
I was like, oh shit, Sansa.
She needed visual verification. But see, this is why she's the one Stark who can win, because she's the only one who's got the stomach to do what has to get done. Like, and it's good to see.
She's gone full on Cersei, man. She's about to go crazy. She's like the only person that I think that could take Cersei on cruelty. I think she's got it
Maybe,
now.
I don't know. See, here's the thing. She was able to do that to Ramsay. Will she be able to do that to somebody who hasn't hurt her? You know?
Ooh, good point.
And
Good
that I
point.
don't know.
But you got to think the next person on the list, if she had a list, if she was Arya, would be Cersei and Jaime. It would be the throne.
Yeah, well, Cersei and, yeah, the Lannisters, I mean, they kept her captive for a while, so yeah. Oh,
Relationship
yeah.
issues.
Yeah, that's true. Breakups are rough, man. Sometimes they get violent.
It's kind of the worst
Jeez.
kind of divorce, man.
The question was like, who gets the dogs, you know?
hmm
I guess we found out.
They're just going to keep them in there because those are Ramsay's dogs. You can't. I wonder if they couldn't retrain them.
I don't know.
Probably some deaths. But dude, but look at this, man. What a ragtag group of people. You got wildlings. You got people from the Vale. You got you got Davos from the Baratheons. You got dude, what a squad they got rolling in there.
Yeah,
Taking
man.
over Winterfell.
I don't know. They're like the United Nations, man. They're just kind of like, we got a little bit of everybody here.
Got the 10 Umbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice though.
She still fed the dogs. Sansa's so caring. You know. She gave him fresh meat. Yeah.
Fresh meat too. Yeah, it wasn't dead. That was nice.
Oh, man. Yeah, so next week we saw a few things. Since you didn't watch the previews, I'll try to give you the heads up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what do we say? Cersei's trial looks like the big thing that's going to happen next week. We also see it looks like Davos turns on Melisandre, and it looks like he's trying to get Jon to like execute her for burning the princess.
Oh wow.
Now I don't know if that's really it because they showed it in like spliced scenes from different angles. So it might not quite be that. They could just be making you think that. You know how they can cut up previews.
Yep.
What else did they show? Oh, yeah, and they show Peter Baelish trying to put the moves on Sansa. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Was there anything else, chat? Did I miss anything else from the preview? I'm trying to remember. Those were the three things that really stood out.
That's quite
and
interesting.
Tyrion
though.
talks something with Daenerys about being wrapped up in the Game of Thrones, basically. So, I don't know what that's about.
Oh, that's the last episode.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's gonna be a wrap up of everything.
yeah. Well, I mean, we
Maybe-
already know, like, Arya's storyline looks like it's done for the season. That looked like
Yeah.
a good way to wrap up last week. And I think Bran's is probably done, too.
We really need the Bran storyline to finish off the season. Like, just give us some closure. Like,
Yeah.
become the Three-Eyed Raven. Show us something.
Yeah, it looks like mostly Fallout at Winterfell and Cersei's trial. But I don't know. We'll see what they actually pull
Oh,
out.
Cersei's trial is gonna be it. That should be good.
Yeah, that's probably going
That-
to take up a lot of the episode if I had to guess.
I forgot that was a storyline, man. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Here's a thought.
Yeah.
here's a thought. Jamie
Okay.
leaves River Run, right?
Oh, that's what it was. There was something with Jamie and the Frey and Walder Frey.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what that was about. All they showed was Walder Frey like giving a toast and Jamie was there. So
I think
yeah.
once Edmure finds out the Starks are back, he's going to team up against them. So pretty much anything north of the Riverlands is going to be Stark, including the Vale, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also maybe Frey kills Jamie.
He could, but what? I don't know. Like Frey turned on the Starks because he had something to gain. you
Yeah.
know? Like, what does he have to gain by turning on the Lannisters? Like, his army's incompetent. Like,
He gave the control back to Edmure. He wanted the control of the Riverlands, and now he does not have control of the Riverlands. The Tullys are back in control of the Riverlands.
unless
So
Jamie
pretty much-
killed Edmure, and that's like if Jamie kills Edmure now, and
Jamie's not going to kill it.
No.
Here's the thing. Jamie's
Uh,
not a
yeah,
dishonest
I know.
person.
I don't know. There's got to be something though, because
The Freys do not like the Lannisters and what they did with Edmure, putting him back in power. I can almost guarantee that.
man, how messed up would it be if that's how Jamie goes out, the same way as Robb Stark?
Dude, that would... I mean, it's the phrase. They're not very creative.
No, Walter. I'll tell you what. Walter Frey is a fucking weasel, but he is not somebody to fuck with.
Yep.
Like
that's
you know,
true.
like you
Dude,
just,
if Jamie does Mad King him, that'd be pretty awesome.
that definitely be good.
All right, Tully's got control over whatever the phrase land was called. I forgot something about two bridge river things.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
That's
That actually now
crazy,
has
yeah.
got me more intrigued than the other storylines.
Yeah, but
Except for Baelish and Sansa, because that could throw a real fucking wrinkle into Daenerys' endgame. Like,
not really,
could. I said could.
because
Didn't say
Starks
would.
always kind of operated on their own, even though they were still part of the Seven Kingdoms. So now you have the Starks up there, which I guess would be considered the Baelishes. Oh, that sounds shitty. So you have the Starks up there, right? In control of Winterfell. Daenerys comes in, she takes over the South, right? No one's going to really argue with that except, Hightower. But are they really going to be able to stand against a fucking dragon? And then
Oh, yeah.
the only other people that have any type of issue with the Lannisters and the throne is Dorne. And what the fuck are they going to do?
But yeah, they seem like they're falling into irrelevance. But maybe
Yep.
when things move to Westeros full time next season, they'll come back into play.
Maybe.
Although, again, another place with a female running the show.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna
And,
be a female
if
run
you
show.
think about it, the Vale is ruled by a female. Because God knows Hugh Aaron is not a dude.
Oh, I guess it technically was ran by the mom.
Yeah, it was, but, well,
And she did.
yeah, and her son is a wuss, so,
So that maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much
Anyway,
Baelish.
I was
versus
just
Vale.
making jokes at Hugh Aaron's expense. Yeah. One of the cool things I did like, you made me kind of think of this, was in the scene with Daenerys and Yara, where Tyrion's like, so are you going to let everybody start, demanding their own kingdoms?
Yeah.
And she says she's not demanding, she's asking,
Yep.
And she was like, the rest of them can come and ask too. And I thought there was something neat there where, she kind of took this approach that, it'll be easier to rule people that want to follow,
Interesting.
And I think there's a neat dynamic there, she might be looking to rule a little differently than her father did.
Yeah, she seems to just want peace. So if each person can have their own kingdom, she's probably okay with that as long as it's peaceful. No slavery, no negativity. Because that was her whole thing as a child, was she doesn't want, the negativity and stuff, all the bad things that happen. She wants to kind of keep it peaceful. So maybe that's just the route she's going, the opposite of the Mad King.
If everybody, observes and honors, her rule, and it's just, they run their own kingdoms, what's the difference? Now you got a bunch of people who are down.
Yeah.
That's easy. You can go
Very
fly
true.
on your dragon all day. Or do something, I don't know.
Yeah, what is she going to do? That's going to be a
Yeah, that's
boring-ass
interesting,
kingdom.
actually. Maybe she'll take up music like Rhaegar.
So here's another thing. Is she just going to leave Marine? Who's going to run Marine? Is she going to let Missandei and Grey Worm run it while she take the Dothraki army?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find more out about that next week. Yeah. Gonna hang out with Yara. Yes.
That's where the reality shows come in.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Sansa, Yara, Daenerys hangout sesh.
Yeah, man. My buddy Joe asks, how many direwolves are left? It's kind of a good
Ghost.
question. Is Ghost the
Ghost.
only one?
Ghost and Nymeria, but they don't talk about Nymeria. That's Arya's.
Oh, yeah, who ran off, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, when they were hunting for it.
I don't
Wait,
know if
where-
I think they hinted at it a couple times in a book or in the show. I know they talk about it in the book a lot when they're talking about the side plots and whatever. But
Where is Ghost
everyone-
right now?
yeah, he was even in the battle. Not
No,
no
he
CGI
was-
budget. They spent too much on 3 dragons. Maybe
Yeah,
Ghost
they
just
spent all their money on
Well,
scales.
in
They couldn't afford
fairness,
fur.
Arya hasn't been in Westeros, so the you know what I mean? Maybe now that she's coming back, the wolf will come back too. It would seem
Well-
like the perfect convergence,
in the book, they were saying there's a giant wolf controlling like a herd of wolves, and the wolves are going around like killing off people.
Okay.
And like, but they were killing off people in like Arya's, like people that were against the Starks, and they kept talking about a huge pack of wolves led by the female large wolf. So it's like, oh, Nymeria is still alive, but they're probably not going to bring her back. Maybe Arya comes back and she finds them. Maybe Arya meets up with the Brotherhood.
Arya gets into some kind of trouble, and she's in a desperate situation, and all of a sudden here comes a dog. Direwolf, whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah, that's not a dog,
The
man.
last
That's a
second
massive-ass
rescue.
wolf.
They love playing that card on TV shows.
Yep.
Yeah, Ghost. What the hell? Where is that wolf? I can't remember.
I think he's still with Dolores Head, man, chilling at the wall. Fuck all this battle nonsense. I'm gonna chill right here.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember the last time we saw Ghost, so.
When they were fighting inside, right before the Wildlings came out, right before they hung Ollie, that shithead.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was
Why
the last
did I
time.
think Ghost had died? For some reason I thought that.
Yeah,
Because all the other wolves die.
I can't. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe just because direwolves are dying all over the place.
That could be
Yeah. Okay. Either way. Strong bounce back episode this week, though, man. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, after
This
the
one-
past two, which were a little more down and kind of setting things up for the rest of it, you know.
I think they said this is the only one they submitted for an Emmy.
Really.
Yeah, I think it should win.
That's great. You know, Battle of the Bastards is the name of the episode they send for the Emmy. It's pretty good, though. I give them that.
Is that the name of the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to be funny if that wins. I mean, but it is good, right? There's a lot of drama. Like, that shit had me shaking. And there's a lot of great, like, camera work and, like, CGI stuff done in it, too. So, like, it hits on a lot of levels.
Dude, when she hopped on the dragons and you can see the whole city, I was like, damn, this is beautiful. Like, they did really well on this, like, overhead scene of her on the dragon. Like, 'cause you remember the last time she was on a dragon
looked
inside
really
the Coliseum?
Yeah,
it looked like
that
shit.
looked horrible. Yeah. So,
This one-
you're right. It did look better this time. Yeah, I gotta admit, that's probably the best, like, I don't know. It's either that first scene with John in the battle and all the shit's happening around him, give you a sense of how crazy it is, or just the wall of bodies. Like, when everybody's, like, screaming and suffering, and it was just like...
Guy
dude,
playing with his guts, like, help me.
dude,
He's
it
like,
was just...
you're done, man.
It was like, wow, this is just dark. You
Yep.
know? So...
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I could see why they'd send that one. Yeah. Well, let's hope it wins. So we
Yeah,
got
for
one
real.
more of these, man. One more Game of Thrones wrap up. Feels like
It's
we've been
making
doing
me
them
sad.
forever. I know. I'm really liking this. It's been so much fun.
There's still no books to read.
Yeah, and it's great because
Losing
now
my
I don't
shit,
have to
man.
spend like an hour or so at work doing it. So like, the work's happy. Like they're getting more productivity out of me because I get it all out of my system before I go to work.
Ghost just making puppies. He said, fuck this boy. Need to make more dire wolves.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens next week. I'm excited. You know, maybe we'll have like a big episode recap and then just a big season recap. Period. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like, they did it last year, except I feel like they ended on something interesting, though. Maybe not.
Trying to remember what the last scene of the previous season was, and I cannot remember for the life of me right now.
I can't
The
remember
season
either.
before it was Arya leaving on the boat.
Yep.
The hell was the last scene from last season? Come on. Oh, John dying.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Left off
John
the
bleeding out.
cliffhanger.
All right,
Yep.
there we go. Go Malgadar.
There you go, man.
Pushing 40, still got the memory.
Oh man. Yeah. So this one's just gonna be cover up on everything.
Yeah, that little thing, right? Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to next week. It should be fun. I guess we should transition out of this now.
Hold on. I hope the last scene is Daenerys getting on boats, so then there's no speculation on whether or not she leaves or not.
That's pretty good.
Just like show them getting on a boat with the dragons above. Like, all right, we're good to go, guys. We know season 7 is going to be legit. All
What
right.
if the last scene is Daenerys finding out she's pregnant with Ramsay's baby?
How the fuck does that happen, man?
What?
Just saying.
Like, if you said Dario, I'd have been like, ooh. But this
Became an M. Night Shyamalan TV show.
yeah, for real. Oh man,
No, anyway.
that crazy scene, bro.
Anyway, just having a little fun. Yeah. Seriously. If that, like, happens now, I'm gonna, like, get a million messages about, like, how did you know?
Did you write this?
Like, no, I'm just, like, buzzed and being stupid.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, so, anything else for tonight's episode?
Nah,
Anybody in
man.
the chat, anything? Like, just clear this all up, make sure we got everything we got to say out here. Yeah, because otherwise I guess we'll start transitioning, get into what we've been up to this past week.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Chris, you want to start us off?
Literally nothing up until this weekend for gaming wise.
Okay.
This weekend was more Overwatch. I feel like I'm getting a lot better.
Overwatch, how's that going?
Overwatch.
It almost sounds like you said overcrotch. Like
It almost came out, man. It was,
you saved
kinda
it, and I
slurred.
didn't let you get away with it. I'm sorry.
yeah, man. Then playing a lot of Overwatch right before the show. Got my first match with 5 gold medals. With Soldier 76, which means I healed more than our healer with him. I've had that a couple times, which is pretty embarrassing for whoever was the healer. Like I did it with 76, and then I did it with
Well, I guess it depends, right? Because like if everybody focuses your healer, then it's kind of hard, you know. Like
yeah, but that's
so,
what the team is meant to do. Is so like you have a tank,
True.
and the tank draws the damage from the healer because
Well,
they
it could
just
just
rush
be
in.
endemic of a bigger problem with the team.
This is very true. We still won because I was pushing. But, like, why am I... Like, I did it with Roadhog. I had more heals with Roadhog. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, dude, I feel like I'm leading most of the teams, which is nice. Getting a lot of the play of the games with, you know... I get them with Torbjorn a lot, which people are like, oh, wow, that's great. But it's like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm one defense. I fill up a turret, and I go Molten Core, and I just fuck people up. Like, that's how it works.
Mm.
Don't get mad at me. And then, yeah, it's getting a lot. I figured out like 5 characters that I'm really good at. I could play with some other ones, but I've kind of got like my key 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Just everything. And a lot of people's stats are like people who play like 70 hours with one character. It's like, dude, how do you do that? Like, how, are you just like fuck the rest of the team, man? I'm going Genji all day. It's like, what? Come on.
The game's kind of forgiving. Like, you can get away with weird team composition if everybody's good, you know?
Yeah.
It just, you know, it sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's funny, I didn't get to play any Overwatch this week, but I was thinking, one of the problems I think I had the other night was that I'm playing on a controller versus people playing with mouse and keyboard. And I think I'm going to have to experiment with retraining myself to play on mouse and keyboard.
Shouldn't be much of an advantage. Shouldn't be an advantage at all, huh?
Mouse aiming might just be that fraction of a second more precise than, you know, right stick aiming.
I get that.
That might be the difference in why I was having trouble in a lot of one-on-ones, you know.
Well, if you play Hanzo, you don't even have to worry about aiming. You just
Oh, yeah,
pull the
his
trigger.
hitbox is the screen.
Yeah, but he
You
always
can't
gets his
even
ultimate
screen
before
you
me. I couldn't
man.
help it. I had to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten better with Hanzo, too. I'm still not feeling it. I'm like, certain characters I can play, like, leaning from way in the back. But, like... oh, man.
Yeah,
It's like Zenyatta, I've had fun playing with him. He's a lot of fun from far away because he hits hard.
Yeah,
If you get 1-on-1, you're dead.
I just like Lucio, man. Like, just put on healing aura and just stay near people. I'm like, I can do that. That's
Oh,
easy.
dude.
You know.
That's not even the fun part about Lucio. The fun part is just like blowing people off edges.
Yeah,
like
I didn't
saving
say the
people from
fun
near
part. I
death.
said the part I can definitely get done.
Oh,
Healing aura plus stay near people. That's
throwing
easy.
up shields at like
Yeah.
the perfect time.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
man,
His little
Lucio,
attack is pretty good too with the triple pulse. Like that's not
Yeah.
a bad little
you
attack.
can lead people. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
lead people, and then the last one connects, and you just keep going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I enjoy. That's
the-
he's one of my 5.
The speed boost is great too in certain spots. You know.
Yep.
I always love too when like a slow ass Reinhardt tries to charge me, and I would just be like, switch to speed boost and roll. I'd be like, later, bro. You know.
I've
like,
also not been hit with fucking Hanzo's ults because of that. Like when I'm Lucio and I hear it, I'm just like, "Whoa, we're all sprinting the fuck out of this."
Yeah.
Boost out of that. As soon as I see where it's coming from, man, you just gotta. Boop. Oh yeah, dude.
I found
Dual shield
Hanzo's
in
ultimate to be
overtime.
pretty easy to dodge. I mean, in the beginning it was a little tricky. The only way it's bad is if it comes at you like through a wall around a corner or something, and you didn't even.
Yeah.
You're like,
If you're
oh
hiding
shit,
and
that's
it
a
just appears through the
dragon.
wall.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise it's so slow. Like usually can get out of the way of it.
hmm That 76 and McCree are very easy to dodge.
Yeah, God, I forgot McCree exists. So tells you all you need to know. Not my style.
Oh, dude, I don't think he's anybody's style, man. Like I see people playing with them a lot. It's like
I'll tell
and
you
they're
what though,
good with
that
them.
like unload ability's pretty wicked. Like, you know, but
yeah,
damn if you don't hit with it.
yep. But they weakened it. They weakened it. They nerfed him and Widowmaker. The last like small patch.
Why would you
They
nerf
both still kick my
Widowmaker?
ass.
Widowmaker was hitting people in the body and one-shotting them. When they wanted it to be headshots, you one-shot. The body shot should take more. You still get the damage boost when you like hold it there. Yeah, same with McCree though. They didn't want McCree to be a tank killer. Like he'll just go fan the hammer on you on the tank and just knock him out. Like, no, that shouldn't happen.
I don't know about the Widowmaker one. Like she's a sniper. Like I don't know. Sniper rifles tend to kill. You don't have to get a headshot, but I don't know. Trying to bring reality into a game like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
either,
that's
but
not the
I'm
game
just
we're
like
playing.
headshots at like long range will be very difficult to pull.
We're literally
you know?
playing a Pixar shooter.
Yeah,
All right.
I know. Suspend your disbelief. I get it.
But no, I feel you on that. But at the same time, she had the same hitbox as Hanzo, just a little bit smaller, and so everything was like a headshot for her. So she could just like get like 5 kills right away from that. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
So they made McCree a lot easier to kill if you're a tank because he can fan the hammer and not kill you. So you could turn around and fuck his shit up. But beforehand, he'd just fan the hammer on the Reinhardt, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still pretty much like required to have a Reinhardt on your team? Like.
Oh
are you
no,
still seeing that?
I stopped playing Reinhardt. I go aggressive Roadhog and just murder people.
Mm.
Yep, Roadhog's a lot of
See,
fun.
I like a lot of what he's got going on, but I'm just like he is so big. Like he's such a juicy target. Like I
He's
love
a
when I see
huge target to
Roadhog
hit.
because I'm just like I can hit him. Like I'm like fuck Tracer. That little bitch is hard to hit, but like I'm like
my favorite
Roadhog. Yeah,
is
come on,
catching
boy.
her-
You know.
Catching Tracer and teleport, just pow,
Oh,
catch her with the
Jesus
chain,
Christ.
pull her in, and one shot her. Like,
Yeah, see that's got to be fun.
that's so satisfying.
I just always feel like I'm just a big slow target when I'm Roadhog though. That's my problem. But I could see how he's awesome too, because
Yeah, he's an
That
easy
stun
target,
and
but
that-
you also get a heal.
yeah, I've heard that heals big time too. I never got to use it in a match, so
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
always
think it's
forget
like
or I'm
half his
dead
health.
before I get a chance to pop it.
Oh man, just popping out of corners, chaining someone. If they get a hit off you, you run a little bit, heal, come back, chain them again, shotgun them in the face, or you can like melee them. Oh, dude, it's whew. Roadhog's fun. That's another one of my 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything other than Overwatch?
Nah, dude.
Okay. That's easy.
Yep.
Matt, what have you been up to, man? You were on the show last week, and you're back again.
I am, yes. I couldn't get enough last time. Figured I'd show up again.
Oh, well, we'll try to fill you up good this time.
All right.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Anyway, so what have you been up to?
I played some Overwatch this week, but not a whole lot. Reinhardt, still one of my favorite characters. But
Phrasing is
I
essential,
don't know, I
ASD.
mostly got my butt kicked this week. I didn't do all that well.
Oh, man.
Maybe it was because we weren't all together or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get something together again. Maybe not a full team of 6, because we were kind of getting our ass handed to us by good teams. But maybe we'll get like 2 or 3 of us together, Try to
All right.
get
Oh,
some
we just
randoms in with us.
We just got to get the whole team coordination and comp right. We can't have people picking one character, picking with them the whole match.
I'll have to try to boot camp myself and try to start learning how to play on a mouse. I got to relearn all my keys and shit. It's gonna take some.
Oh, dude,
work.
there's 3 buttons.
Some characters have like 6, dude. So it depends.
Which characters have 6?
I'm trying to think who were some of the ones that had a lot of shit.
Torbjorn, I think, has the 1 extra button because you can switch between.
Yeah, he
the
has a few things. Now I know a lot of them are pretty simple. Like Roadhog doesn't have a lot. Diva has like nothing. Reinhardt doesn't really have a lot.
You got this. You got left, right. You got shift. You got Q. You got E, and then you have. I think I can't remember what the melee button is because I reconfigure that.
I think it's V.
V. That's it. I put that to like the middle button on my mouse.
Yeah, same here. Oh,
That's
and then
it.
R to reload. That's another important one.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think it's V. Is V not correct?
Okay.
No, V's correct.
Either way. Anyway, it's just new
Okay.
keys and stuff I gotta figure out. That's all. Yeah. So.
All right. Other than Overwatch, I spent all day today watching E3 conferences.
Oh yes, you were saying that. And we're gonna talk about a bunch of
Yeah.
that soon. So.
What's E3?
It's that one gardening exposition or but I can't remember the word. What the heck's the word?
Environmental exhibition.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
There's plants, green stuff.
That's cool. I guess if you're into that.
Yeah.
Whatevs. Gotta play something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got. That was my week.
Okay. Kind of a light week. Yeah. I got all kinds of stuff flying in here. As for me, I was away for 2 days in Hershey. So, my daughter graduated high school. Go, Allie. And so I lost a couple days there. And then I came back yesterday, had to catch up on everything from E3. I was paying attention to most of it during the week, but I kind of wanted to go back and recheck out everything. Thank you, ASD. So I caught up on all that, and then I played some Final Fantasy V while I was at the hotel and stuff, like had some downtime on the Vita, and getting further along in that. And then today, me and my son played through Gears of War Ultimate Edition on the Xbox One, so...
Nice.
I wanted to go back. I haven't played that game in years because I lent one of my buddies my copy, and dude, I should have secretly Twitch streamed during the ceremony because it was long. Like it took forever, So played through that though. Game's a little clunky by today's standards, but it's still pretty cool. And we'll talk a little more about that when we get to the E3 stuff, because it kind of relates to what I don't like about Gears 4 that I'm saying. And,
oh, dude.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just love that first game. It just had the most, beautiful, feel and styling to it. And, it was just fun to play through Act 1 and Act 2 again. And hopefully next weekend I can get to the rest of it. I mean, the back half of that game is about as big as the first 2 acts combined. So maybe if I can get another good sit down session, we could finish the whole thing. You know, I'd like to finish the campaign again and fill General Rom with a few bullets. Yeah. That's really it, though, unfortunately. Between the trip and all the E3 news that was going on, just not a busy gaming week. So it was good to sit down today and put a couple hours into Gears of War, though. That was fun. Yeah.
That is what's up, man.
So I guess that's it for what we've been up to. Chat, did anybody in the chat do anything cool this week that worth mentioning? But I guess we'll train. It'll take a minute for them to catch up to us. But yeah. So I guess we'll move into the E3 stuff here. Before we do that, I'm going to want to refill here. So.
All right. So where are we starting on the E3, man?
Wow, that's a lot of stuff there, man. Yeah.
I kind of wanted to get Battlefield 4. It was on sale.
It's good. I enjoy it.
It was on $5.
It was $5?
Yeah.
Really?
Both that one and
$5,
Hardline were $5 this weekend.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Dude, come on. It's been out for years, and they've been giving free time. Like, they have a week free time, I think, at one point.
Yeah. Hey, you guys can talk Battlefield for a second and $5 deals. I'm going to refill, and then we'll move into the E3 stuff.
I keep seeing all these GIFs of people doing, like, these action movie Michael Bay style shit on there, and I'm like, damn, man. This is
that
crazy.
Stuff happens.
It's crazy. It's like, I remember playing it and just getting my ass whooped, like, over and over. I had it on Xbox. I think it might be a little bit better on PC. Might be a little bit better.
I bought it on PC. I have some videos from the beta before it came out where I was kicking butt.
I might have to get back on that. I'm looking for some cheap, fun games. Right now, Overwatch seems to be that. It was almost installed HOTS again.
Installed what?
Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, gotcha. I still got that one on.
Yeah, I uninstalled it, and I might install it. But then I feel like I have every Blizzard game installed because I might play it. So, come on, man.
Yeah, I have all of them except Hearthstone. I do not install that one.
Oh, I was playing that.
Were you?
Oh, dude. The whole doing flips thing, man. Every time it's someone jumping out of a ship upside down, sniping someone out of a helicopter, and then popping back into their jet again. What the hell, man? Hawken! Whoa!
Hawken! That's another fun one.
People still play that? Damn. I didn't even know people still played that game. That's the, oh no, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of End War. I don't know why I'm thinking of End War.
Oh.
Hawken's the actual fighting jets, right?
Hawken is a mech, fast-paced action shooter.
Did I download that?
I have no idea.
I feel like I might have put that on Steam as like, I want to play this.
Oh my god, there's no viewers left. You guys drove them all away.
Oh,
jeez.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm the douchebag who walked up to get another drink, so, like, you know. Cannot blame you guys.
Let's get started on this E3, man.
Just because I came back, you stopped talking? Like, geez, you guys can talk.
We were talking about you, and we didn't want to hurt your feelings, so.
Oh, I don't care. We can talk shit about me on the show. I suck. I'm good with that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put this tweet out
he's
real
got
quick.
the right idea. I usually have like 3 drinks.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened. Chris died.
You lose him?
Rest in peace, buddy. You were a great co-host. I'll come by and claim your computer after the show. Yeah. Um,
All right.
that's okay. He'll be back.
I'm here.
There we go. See?
Oh, live.
I told you, Matt didn't
a
believe.
miracle.
I knew you were coming back. So,
The issue I had was I clicked on Steam to see if I had Hawking, because I'm pretty sure I did, but I did not. But at the same time, it started automatically downloading things and updating. And it
oh
just fucked everything
god,
up.
yeah.
And there went all your bandwidth.
Yep, there it goes. Steam does not play around with that. It's either a super quick download or you gotta set the bandwidth and take forever on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I played Hawken for quite a bit until MechWarrior Online came out. Then I started playing that more.
I did play MechWarrior Online. That was fun.
Yeah.
Who don't know about that Comcast? We know all about shitty Comcast. Let me throttle your shit just because. Hopefully
Okay.
that ends now.
All right, you guys ready to go? Tweet is out.
Been ready, man.
We're good to go then. All right. So E3, my favorite week of the year. And I'm not even kidding. It is by far my favorite week of the year. Like, I just love the shit out of some E3. It's just, dude, it's like, I'm trying to think of a good way to say it. It's just like, like everything you're getting for Christmas, and it's great, you know? It's like they're just telling you right then and there, like, this is what you're gonna get. So, I'm always down with that. So what I wanted to do was tackle the big three first, and maybe a few minutes into some of the third-party stuff, if there's anything that really was of interest there.
Are you including Nintendo in that?
Yeah, technically. Just because people are losing their shit.
I mean, it makes sense.
I don't really
they
consider
showed
them.
was amazing.
I consider Bethesda bigger than Nintendo at this point. So,
that's
like,
who I was
you know,
thinking.
that's where I'm at.
Bethesda seems to be the other third. Yep. Go ahead,
So-
start, man.
I'll let you, Chris. All right, so let's... What's up?
If I just had a screw fall out of my laptop, should I be worried?
I don't know. I've got a few screws loose, and I still operate.
All right.
The battery.
Yeah.
I'll leave it for now.
Yeah. If Matt disappears, we'll assume it's his laptop and not that he died, like with Chris. You know. So. I gave you a good obit, buddy. Don't worry.
All right.
No, I was
What
talking
brand
to
is
Chris. He might have missed that.
Oh.
I don't know. He might have missed the part where I said some fine words about him.
Yeah,
I
they were
missed
quite
it.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was touching, man. Your mom
boy.
tweeted me and she was like, "Thank you." It was touching moment, man. Touching moment. All
So
right.
glad my mom doesn't know how to use Twitter. Oh.
Yeah. Right? Oh God. All right. So Microsoft. I figured they went first. Let's talk about them first.
All right.
All right.
notes on
Now
that.
I'll say this first. Microsoft's conference, really well done. I love their stage setup and everything.
Oh, I love the way the stage looks.
Yeah, it's really set up well. But goddamn, if their conference doesn't just feel like the biggest fucking sales pitch.
Oh, dude. There's only like 5 words you need to know.
Yeah.
Xbox and Windows 10 exclusive. What's
Yeah.
that? Six words?
How many times did you see that, man? I was getting so mad. I was
Is
like,
that what's
I get
going to
it.
be on? Is that what's going to be on video games now? When you
Like-
buy it, it's just going to be that across the whole cover.
Yeah.
It's like you guys have the whole Play Anywhere. You can
Yeah.
just keep that. You don't have to keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Could they
We
just say
get it.
Microsoft exclusive? Like, that'd be nice and brief.
That would have
you
been.
know.
Oh man.
Ah, jeez. No, it was just the difference between the conferences, though, is like Microsoft's felt like this like sales pitch from like an executive being like, "This is why you need to own an Xbox," you know. And
Yeah.
Sony's felt like my boy telling me like, "Yo, you will not believe the shit Sony's got coming." Like, it's
Hold on a
nuts,
second.
You know?
Does your boy just walk up to you in a suit every now and then and just tell you these things? Like sits down with a cup of coffee, some jazz music in the background. Like, listen,
No,
man,
he
so
has a
here's what I
full
got. Here's
orchestra
what I
that
got
plays when
planned.
he walks up to me. Yeah. No, I'm not saying the people. What I'm saying is the feel of the conference, though.
Oh, dude, I felt Bethesda was more. I mean, not Bethesda. I'm sorry. I feel like Sony was more of a like professional, very relaxed environment, where Xbox was kind of like the same shit we've seen over many years.
Yeah. And
And
to be honest,
so-
if Sony did a regular conference, I probably wouldn't feel the same about Microsoft because it was a pretty
That's
good
the thing.
conference all in all.
we now have something better and we can compare it now. So of course we're gonna be like, oh, Microsoft sucked. And it's like, not really. They did the same thing. Sony just
and it
stepped
was
their game
good.
up
They
and
had a lot of
very
good stuff.
professional.
Although
Yeah,
the
dude.
one thing that kills me, and this is why I like what Sony did so much better, the fucking buzzwords, man, and the catchphrases.
That is literally the first thing on my notes is so many fucking buzzwords.
Oh my god, it drove me fucking insane. It was like, I get it. You're trying to do cool shit. Just tell me about the shit. Don't sell it to me. Don't hype it up. Don't. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
That's because to the average consumer, they hear that and it's like, oh, this is going to be good, guys.
Oh my god, they work with the best teams in the industry.
God.
Like, except for the 21 Sony
team.
worldwide studios and all of Nintendo's internal R&D,
Every team is the best team.
Yeah, I know. Like, just please stop. Like, it's insulting you, it's insulting me, But I know there's a not hardcore large audience they're trying to net, so I get it. I it's just annoying, and especially because of the contrast with the other conference. I'm just gonna knock out my notes here. Intercede as you feel necessary.
All right.
I love Xbox Design Labs. This is a brilliant idea. Yes, custom controller. Thank you. I don't want it to stop there. I want it to get more in depth. I want things like the ability to upload images, for your controller. I want more color options because I've gone through and played with it, and some of the colors aren't available for thumbsticks, and I'm like, why? Why can I get a color for the D-pad, not the thumbstick? That's fucking retarded.
Probably doesn't look right.
Let me decide that. That's the whole point to the customization. If it's a material thing, fine. Yeah, I like that. But here's the thing. I like the controller thing. I want them to take it further to another step and do it for consoles. Let me order my custom console. Let me get my name on that shit. Little etching, Mm-hmm. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see this be the beginning of something bigger for custom controllers and consoles.
Dude, I would love to have custom colored consoles, dude.
Yeah.
And then images. Let me get some images on there.
Yeah, man. Get a little Collective Gamescast logo right up on that shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me get rich and just start sending people old man assholes everywhere. Like, yo.
Nicole get a picture of Finn on her controller.
Then we're going to end up having doing the reality TV show of Xbox One cribs.
Well, Chris would get Wet Hot American Summer for his controller.
There's nothing to put on there, man.
I don't know. You
Paul
get
Rudd's
the logo.
face.
There you go.
Yeah.
ASD, you lost me.
Old man assholes, man. You got to put that on people's gifts. So, if you buy someone, your friend, a gift, and it happens to be an Xbox One, you just get customized Xbox One with an asshole on it. So when they open it, it's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, thanks, man. And they look at it, and you got old man asshole, complete with hair.
Or a mutilated dangus or something. Yeah, I can, definitely. Interesting.
Is this some sort of thing now?
What?
The old man assholes?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you get someone a gift, and they're really excited when they open it up. They now own the old man asshole Xbox One.
That's pretty wicked. And that's right where you put the disc in, Yeah.
They have to see that every single day, and you get to just laugh when it's you can't hide it. You can't hide this, man. It's yours now.
That's pretty
good. You can't even sell it back.
Like that.
GameStop's not going to take it because they're not going to be able to sell it, man. You got to find somebody who has old man asshole fetish to get this off your shelf. It's dumb.
Well, thanks to Craigslist, you probably can.
Oh man.
So, anything else about Xbox Design Labs stuff, guys?
No, I think it's great. Just get images, man.
Yeah, I like to see Sony just admit that they were late to this one and do the same thing. Just be like, shit, we should have thought of it first, but we didn't. But here you go.
Sony's going the Apple way, and they're just going to have their own colors that you can buy like they used to.
Yeah, maybe. I hope they do an about face on it though. That'd be pretty good. I like Xbox looking for group.
That's beautiful.
That's an idea that could really take off if it's executed right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how it works in practice, but in theory, that just sounds like a great idea.
I think it works well in combination of the whole Xbox Live communities.
I'm not positive on communities, only because they kind of suck over on PlayStation. But Microsoft's a little better at like the software stuff and like the social stuff, because Xbox Live's way better than PSN, so they might be able to nail it and get it to work.
I mean, it works well if you have like a group of friends that play. So let's say you've been playing on Xbox for years, and all your friends that you met online have still been playing for years. Now you guys can create a group similar to how you had like the COD clans and all that.
Yeah, well, I think what's cool too is if you're somebody who's new to a type of game, right? Like, say you just bought Overwatch, right? And you don't play shooters. So none of your friends probably play shooters. So now you got to find people. Well, just joining the Overwatch community would be a great way to do it. But the problem is, do the people who play Overwatch really join the community if they already have friends who play? You know? And that's kind of where you run into these problems with whether or not these things work, you know?
Well, I mean, think of it like Reddit. You have these subreddits of communities of gamers, and they're all specific to a game, and they meet up on there, and they talk about when they're going to play, and they meet new people. Like, it's people like communities. I think that's a...
Should I save the date? Like, because you and Reddit got, like, a serious commitment going on here. Like,
I don't think you've met any Redditors, man. This is how it works.
I'm just saying, like, every other sentence out of your mouth tends to be like, if you go on Reddit, like, you know.
You just go on there. It's got every community. You learn new things. I mean, granted, it's kind of a hive mindset there, but I mean, you can get some decent information out of it. You ignore the top comments.
The hive mind is how they process so much information so quickly.
Oh, man. ASD, wait, you better not like Chris more than me, or I'm going to have to block you.
Boy over there. That's good shit.
It's cool. Give Chris the love. He's a good dude. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the looking for group. I like it, though.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good, man. Fucking reposts. That's all.
The other thing I've put down here, and this was kind of in the same part, Xbox Game Preview. This is a weird thing. I wasn't really familiar with this because I'm not very tightly into the Xbox community right now. You know, I mean, I got one in my house, but this is the first time I played it since Christmas today when I played Gears of War. So that tells you how badly I want to get into the Xbox. Like, it just nothing going on over there that I'm dying to play. But the game preview thing where you pay to have early access to a game that's basically in like an alpha or beta state, I'm like,
early access, man.
I like it, but why the fuck are you paying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that just
because you pay and you get the original game. Like, you pay for the game to help the development. It's what they do on Steam. But I mean, some of the stuff on early access doesn't actually ever get released.
Yeah,
like they just stay in early access forever.
That's what I don't like. That's why I don't like the paying. Like, I'm kind of like, dude, this is what you do like an open beta for. You can get this kind of stuff. Like, I don't like the idea. I get that people are excited to play games, right? You know, but I don't like the idea that people are like, yeah, let me pay to get early access. Like,
well, you pay a smaller price, right?
And then normally it's at a discount. See, this I wasn't familiar with.
You don't pay the full price of the game. You pay like $20 for it, right? And then you get to play the game throughout the development stages. And then if you're a smart person, you'll, respond like, hey, this is what's happening in the game. Maybe you guys can add this. Enough people have that same idea, then it gets implemented later on. It's kind of a nice developmental stage for like responsible developers. Like, they get feedback, they put that into the game. And they constantly talking to the community. But you have a lot of these developers that get the money and then scrap their game, and that's it.
Oh, wait, so ASD, no. Wait, no, it's the opposite. It's like you're a rich kid who's bored. So you're like, I don't want another working game. I want a broken game. Nobody else has a broken game. Yeah. Well, no, it's like, man. It's like I'm tired of driving Lamborghinis. I'm going to drive a Ford Escape. Like, just to slum it like the poor people, like that's the vibe I get.
I like that. I like the imaginative. Man, if it wasn't broken, this would be a great game. Because that's how I feel about every game that's early access that I've even like considered buying. Like, this is a cool concept. Hopefully they finish it. Like Space Engineers, man, I dropped $20 on that, and I'm still waiting for them to finish this game.
Oh Jesus, that sucks. Anyway,
been years, man.
I just felt like it was weird. It feels like a very PC thing, although Xbox is slowly turning into a PC. Like, like the line is getting very thin, which, if you remember when the original Xbox came out, it was like the stone wall. Like, we are not a fucking PC. And now it's like, yeah, we're like PC light, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know what you're trying to do at this point,
Dude, listen, man. We already know PC gaming is #1, right? And it's finally getting recognized by Microsoft, who's been pretty much running all the PC gaming, because what the fuck is a Mac?
Chris,
and so,
Chris,
Xbox
I'm sorry, dude, you have to stop talking. You have to go update your drivers, man. God, do that. Anyway, moving on.
It's what's going to happen. It's the rightful way. You can't get more power without reaching the PC standard. I mean, it's inevitable. You will all be PC gamers very soon. Embrace it.
Start up Steam again, because you're talking nonsense. Anyway, let's get on to my big bugaboo from the Microsoft conference.
I had something else to add.
Oh, go ahead, Chris or Matt. Interject.
Yeah, you were talking about the whole blending the lines thing between PC and Xbox. I don't remember which game they were talking about, but they were talking about it was going to be if you bought it on Xbox, you also get it on Windows 10, and then they would be cross-platform.
Yeah, literally all Xbox multiplayer games that are coming out through Microsoft first-party studios will have that Xbox Play Anywhere, which is cross-platform.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, Chris, you said the thing that stood out most to me. You kind of said, well, there's no point to buying an Xbox for me now, because I'll just play everything on the PC.
That was it. I was deciding,
I'm like, I got my Alienware now. I'm good. Like, screw it. What's the point?
I don't need an Xbox One anymore.
Yeah. So I'm
most of the third-party games will be on multi-console, so I don't have to worry about that. It's the exclusives that I would want to play.
Yeah, and I don't know what third-party exclusives are going to be on the Xbox One at this point. Like,
exactly.
Like if you were going to do a console exclusive as a third party, which is like suicide in this day and age, you'd probably go with PlayStation, since there's 40+ million units out there. Like you would
probably go with who's got the most money.
Well, right.
They're not going
Microsoft can back up the money truck, but I mean, they're
not going off of who has the most systems. They're going off who's going to offer them the most money up front.
Yes and no, right? Because like the money is nice, but you don't want your numbers to look bad like Rise of the Tomb Raider did, because that looks bad for your game,
But how many people look at numbers when they're buying games?
It makes your game look bad,
In whose mind? Only hardcore gamers are going to look at that.
Well, look at what a bad rap that game got.
I heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, but you don't know anybody who played it. Like, that's the problem. So.
Oh man, that's a valid point.
Yeah, that is a true statement. I don't know anyone who owns it.
Yeah, that's
you have that one friend who played it because he brought that up. So what's his name?
There's an enticement for money, but I don't think the big third parties give a shit about that. Like, do you think Ubi or Activision or EA is going to be like, oh yeah, sure, we could use the money? Like, no, they want to sell copies. Like, they want players, they want DLC purchases. You know what I mean? And the more copies of the game they can get out, the more DLC buys they can get, which is where they really make the most bang for their buck. So, I don't know. It's complicated. It's not so easy as, yes, thank you for the money, we'll do what you want. Like, there's a little more that goes into it now. But, like, the other side of that is Microsoft's first-party games are going to sell way more copies now that you've opened it up to the PC. Because now you have all these other people that can buy your game. So their sales figures for their games should go up a lot.
This is very true. Give me $100 for some skins.
Hats! It's all about fucking hats, man.
Oh man, I love I was watching a developer thing for Overwatch, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're going to do competitive mobile. We also want to give people rewards, but we don't want it to be game-breaking rewards. Nothing to like add stats, no armor, and all that. So you get like a cool hammer, for Reinhardt. It's all like golden weapons or whatever." And he's like, "So you can show off." I'm like, "That's the only point for all this stuff in this game is to like show off to people. Like, yeah, I played this many hours. Look at me."
Yo,
Pretty good.
if I can get
I've gotten this far on
Torbjorn
competitive ladder.
to use the Hitachi magic wand as his weapon, so
Oh,
I can just kill
Jesus.
people with that, I would be so
What is
happy.
wrong with you, man?
A lot! Like, this is not a surprise! Just saying,
Oh,
man. I could see, like, Black Widow with, like, some bondage gear, Instead of Venom Spike, it's, like, chains and whips that just, like, jump out. Kind of,
She
the
already
mine
has something
explodes,
like
just
that?
grabs you, like, just saying.
You
I'm
okay,
telling you,
man?
if I ever got to design a game, it would be fucked up and twisted and weird and totally probably not allowed in the United States.
No, it's allowed.
Would it be known to cause cancer in the state of California?
I don't know. That's a good question. California is a cancer, isn't it? Anyway, no, I love California. Great place. Can we get onto this Gears 4 stuff? Because I want to talk this a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this
That was
bothers me.
disappointing. Yep.
Yeah. Now, I was a big Gears 1 fan. And then I felt like Gears 2 started to get really fucking ridiculous. And I kind of, like, started to lose interest in it. And then Gears 3 was just so ridiculous, I was like, forget it. Like, this
I lost
is not...
interest at 1.
Yeah, like, this is not the game I wanted. Like, I wanted what 1 was. And 1 was, like, kind of gritty. And it had, like, a level of being grounded in reality. Like, it was obviously, like, fantasy with, like, shit coming up out of the earth and attacking us and crazy-ass monsters. But there was a level of realism to it that really drew me to that setting, Like, it wasn't like you can do the impossible, you know what I mean? Like, there was a level of actually having to do things by hand that I kind of liked,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I see the Gears 4 gameplay demo, and immediately I was just like, fuck, they're doing more crazy shit. There's this, like, ridiculous, like, crazy, like, thunderstorm that's, like, blowing shit all over the place.
Straight up bored the fuck out of me.
Yeah, and
I skipped through that.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is so... Like, I saw what they were trying to do, right? They were trying to do the storm to create a wind, and, like, you kill shit, and then the body, because it just flies away because it can't, resist the forces of the wind, and it blows, like, shit around the environment. I was just like, this is not what I want from Gears of War. Like, a lot of people clearly do want that, because I heard a lot of people excited about it and thought it was awesome. I'm just like...
I think it's because of the name.
I think some people find that exciting and fun. That's just not what I want from that series. Like, I want more like 1. Like, on-the-ground combat, looking for cover, taking out my enemies, And those moment-to-moment encounters were really good in that first one. And this one just looks like it's lots of crazy shit. And, like, they're, like, activating a crane at one point. Or whatever that thing was, like a catapult or some shit. And I'm just like, this is not what I want. Like, I just want to shoot locusts. Like... That's all I want. No crazy, insane, over-the-top bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I was hoping, because I had heard so much good stuff about Gears 4, that it was going to be, like, the game I wanted and a chance to kind of get back into the series. And it just looks like the Coalition is taking it in a totally different direction. So, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be for me. I hope to see more gameplay down the line. Maybe that's just one, like, slice of the game. And the rest of it's more like Gears 1. And in that case, I can live with it if it's one little part. My fear is that's going to be moment to moment the game. Is like one crazy, insane thing after another. And I'm like, if I wanted that, I would just go play Call of Duty. Like, So, that's my take. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I just thought it looked boring. I enjoyed the first one a lot. I played through that. I think I own it, actually. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. I hated multiplayer. I'm not a fan of third-person multiplayer games. That's not for me.
I can dig third person if it's done well. And
Yeah.
Gears 1 really was. And really, the other ones mechanically were sound. I just didn't get into all the crazy bullshit. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, but the fourth one just looked very boring because I played a little bit of the second one and I was kind of bored. Um, I don't know. It doesn't hit me the way that I don't know. I don't know what it was that made everyone so like rock hard boner for it, but it wasn't really.
Did you play the first one right when it came out?
No.
That would probably be why. Because one of the things you have to understand about the first Gears of War is that it was the first like big like title to come out on the Xbox 360. I mean, you had Oblivion, but that was kind of like the solo experience, you know. And then it was like Gears of War hit the holiday after the 360 came out, and it was like that was the game everybody was playing, and it was great.
I was playing a lot of Call of Duty then.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of like my time was every Call of Duty that came out, and then some of the smaller indie games that were still like coming out with the Xbox Live Arcade. But yeah, I don't know. I never was interested. People tell me things and like, get a chainsaw on a gun. I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, great, but it was still good. It was a good game. It just wasn't one of those things that like stuck with me forever. Okay. And so when I saw the fourth one, I was expecting like maybe they took it in a different direction, and then that one just seemed boring.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about games taking new directions later. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Recore. This is interesting because this is my boy Keiji Inafune, creator of Mega Man, and doing.
Was that the guy in the kimono? No, that
was for Killer Instinct.
The kimono? No, it was the black dude was for Killer Instinct.
No. Oh no, that was Tekken. It was Tekken.
Oh, that shitty
That's
fucking
what it was.
game.
All
right.
Yeah.
They really killed Tekken.
Yeah, dude. Actually, let's talk about that real quick though. They brought out the black dude for Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, that reminds me of our talk about like sexism and racism in games, right? And then they showed a dude, and it's like community manager, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? I'm thinking like this is the lead of the team or something, or like a high up guy on the team. No, it's the community manager. I'm like, God fucking damn it. Like, I'm like, can we get some diversity in the fucking like games development industry?
You know why he came out for Killer Instinct, right?
Why?
Black people play a shit ton of fighting games. This is a statistic. No one can argue with me on this. Like, this is what it is.
I ain't black enough to argue with you on it, so sure. You can tell me whatever you want. Like,
growing up, it was always Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct. Like, that's what it was. And so you bring out the black dude because that's who's really going to be paying attention to Killer Instinct.
There.
I get what they did.
He was one of the best guys they brought out to speak.
He seemed natural.
Yeah, because he's a community manager. He's used to communicating with people. He was one of the few who didn't seem like he was reading a prepared speech, you know?
Yeah,
like,
everyone was stuttering on their script.
Yeah, he probably was, but he sells it better. Like, you know, a lot of these other people are just like goddamn robots talking.
Yep.
You know?
So much power on the internet.
He has the power of the banhammer. Yeah. But no, he was cool. I like that. I was just a little disappointed. I mean, good for him to be the community manager. That's a good thing. It's not like anything to sneeze at, but I was just like, I thought like this was going to be like a big shot dude. And I was like, this is exactly what we were saying we need more of. And then I felt the balloon got deflated a little bit when I saw that.
We'll notice it when we have more black main characters.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I don't want to force it. Just let it happen. It'll slowly.
Well,
get
yeah,
you know
obviously you don't want to. I don't know. I wish I knew more about what was going on in the Depth City industry, like, you know, where the people are. But
there's not enough minorities and women in the actual tech fields like that. They're not the engineers. They're not your developers. They may design, but they're not going to be the lead developer for a game yet because there's not enough in there. So like there's a bunch of groups that like bring them in. So as long as they keep bringing them in, start training them, then they'll go in that direction. But most people are going for money right away rather than, you know, in 5 years after we develop this game, we can start making some money.
It's just crazy because I feel like we're seeing everything else, right? Like we see white dudes, we see Japanese dudes. There's fucking like Irish dudes, Scottish dudes, French dudes, like. Every motherfucker's in there. Like, Canadian motherfuckers are up there as, like, you know, like project leads, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like everything but like black dudes and women. Like, the fuck? Like, you know, like, is there like some kind of like secret like conspiracy against this? Like, what's going on? You know,
Systemic issues, man. But it's getting out of there.
Hopefully, it'll get better as we become more diverse and more open. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to where I was headed. Recore.
Yes.
Game.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it shows some promise, right? Like the different like I don't know if it's all the same creature, like, and it's just like you build around the core. Like, do you build the tank one, or do you build the dog one, or?
That's what I was wondering. Is it like different ones, or do you just like add different parts and change its personality or something?
Because it would seem to me, based on the game, right? It would be like, that's the core, build around it how you want. You know, do you want the tank companion or the DPS, or, you know?
But I think you get to choose based on the puzzle that you're going through. So each level, you can probably choose which one. That's what it was looking like.
Would make sense, right?
Dude just brought up Interstate 76.
Yeah, we can't get away from this fucking
that?
game, man. It's like Alex's date rape drug or something, man. Like, he's always pushing it, you know? Nah, it looked pretty cool, though. He did make us watch that intro video. It looked pretty neat. You know, maybe they can kickstart, like, a sequel for it or something.
A remake?
Yeah, right? There you go. Remastered in HD. They love that shit these days. Oh, so it was all ASD's fault. That. It seemed like Grand Theft Auto before Grand Theft Auto, you know? Yeah, but Recore, I'm interested to see how it comes out. You know, I'm not 100% sold on it, but it definitely has that potential. And it's one of them things that could really get me interested in Xbox, except for the fact that I'll just probably play it on my PC, because I don't need an Xbox now. All right. Now, here's one of the things, guys. We're all going to pick like a game at a show kind of thing. And chat, you guys could definitely pick one too, so get your thoughts together for that when we get to the end. This might be mine, man. We Happy Few. This game looks fucking awesome.
We Happy Few, the one with the mat, everyone's wearing the happy face painted on. Yeah, that looks pretty interesting.
And they have to take the joy pills, you know, to stay all drugged up. Like, this game gave me such BioShock vibes, like, I can't even explain it. Like, this 100% has to be inspired by BioShock, like, no doubt.
Or like 1984, or all dystopian.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, you know, BioShock was inspired by stuff too, but it just felt so like BioShock. Like, even like the button commands, like, you know, X for this, Y for that, and the layout and the way everything was designed, and, you know.
It's funny you say that, because I saw this come up, and I skipped through it because I thought it was BioShock. I did not realize it was a different game.
Yes.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I, like, normally I, like, watch E3 and I don't get, like, oh my god, I gotta play this now. Like, you know, because I'm like, okay, cool, it'll be out whenever. I got shit to play now, I'm cool. You know, I'm like, I'll be very excited when that shit's coming out. That one, I was like, fuck, I want that today. Like, I want that yesterday. Like, that shit looks good. You know, now I don't know who this studio is. I've never heard of them before.
Nope.
So it could be a complete bomb, and it could.
But that's
suck.
an early access one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that game really got me excited. Like, I did not expect that, and I was really digging it. You know.
I love that dystopian feel, man.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things.
And I just loved, like, those crazy moments you can have in that game, like where they're beating up the pinata. And then, like, because he's off the drug, he suddenly realizes it's like a fucking rat or something, you know?
Oh, dude, yeah.
And it was, like, so jarring, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so it just looks really cool, you know? And I want to know more about it, because it's like, you see the newspaper clip in the beginning, and it's like Hastings Brothers win, like, scrap dig or whatever. Yep. And then when he looks over at the wall, you see the thing says, like, Arthur Hastings. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm like, well, what's the connection there? Like, is he one of those brothers and it, like, something weird going on? Or, like, are those his brothers? Like,
I think when he starts crying about his brother in there, right?
Yeah, he says something about the other one, like Paul or Pierre or some shit like that. And so I'm like, what's the deal? You know, like, I just want to know so much more about that game, you know?
Yeah, that one looks really good.
Yeah. So then Xbox ends the conference talking about Scorpio.
Yeah, how'd you miss, like...
What'd I miss?
You missed Scalebound, which looks unique.
Oh, yes! I forgot to put that in my notes.
Yeah.
Scalebound looks pretty blah.
Yep.
I'm like, dragons, cool. Combat, it looks like the same thing that bothered me about the Division. It looks like enemies that take 1,000,000 hits to kill.
Yeah, it looks kind of like an MMO, but in a weird form with dragons. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. And dude, like, wears beats for some reason. Like,
yeah, dude, the whole character was so annoying. Holy shit, he was annoying.
Yeah.
I was getting annoyed just watching and listening to him.
I don't know. That demo was probably got some people hype. I don't know. Maybe that's like a Souls kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that's supposed to appeal to, but it certainly isn't me.
Nope.
You know, I could see that being something I might try, like when it's like $10, $20. Like, oh, cool, it's got like dragons and crazy combat encounters, but I don't see that being...
I'll wait a couple years when it drops to like $5 on Steam sale.
There you go. Yeah. What else did I have?
Dead Rising 4?
Oh, yeah, that was a weird one, right? Because I didn't know what to make of that. Because I don't know if that's exclusive or not. And that's the big shit going around the internet.
Xbox One, Microsoft, or Windows 10 exclusive, right?
They didn't say that. And they said that for every fucking game except that one.
So maybe it is multi-plat.
The rumor going around is that it's Microsoft published. So it's like, well, if Microsoft's publishing it, why would it come out for anything else? Like,
Interesting.
It's all confusing. I don't know. The story may have broke at this point, and I just missed it. But the last I had heard, nobody knew what the fuck was going on with that.
That is quite interesting. But it looked nice, though.
I like the Christmas vibe. I thought that was really cool. You know.
Yep.
It looked maybe a little too over the top with like the Frank West taking selfies with the zombies and all. That might have been a little too down the Saints Row alley for me, but it still looked cool enough that I would probably be into it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep.
We
had State of Decay 2. I don't know if you played the first one.
Nah.
That was a good zombie game.
Yeah, wasn't feeling that one.
The first one was very solo. There was no multiplayer, and the whole idea was to build communities and survive from the zombies. Right?
Okay.
Would have been a lot better with multiplayer. So the second one, that's what you got. You got more co-op mode going on, and you can play online and stuff. And I think that's going to be a really solid game. Like the first one was really well done.
Okay.
It just missed the multiplayer aspect. But yeah, that's one of the ones I'm excited for. Is the State of Decay 2. The first one was really good, but now the second one you get to actually play with people.
All right.
It's going to be legit.
Yeah,
and the
it just didn't interest me in any way, but it was also a cinematic trailer, right? I don't remember there being any gameplay for that.
Yeah, it was a cinematic.
Yeah, cinematic trailers don't do shit for me.
There were some points where they were showing you the creation of the community and the steps you could take to build your base.
Yeah. Actually, I lie. Cinematic trailers for games I know what they are do work, but cinematic trailers for games that I don't know what they are, I'm just like, fuck off. Like, I need to see the game. So, anyway.
Yeah, so that was nice. And then the Halo Wars 2, which I really don't know why they made a second one. I honestly thought that was it.
I thought the first one didn't do all that well, so I'm surprised
it didn't do well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they didn't market it right. Maybe they felt like... I know the Halo Wars people love that shit. So if they got a lot of them people, like, kind of like screaming and hollering at them, like, yo, make another Halo Wars... Maybe they're thinking like, hey, this time let's try this with the marketing. Maybe we just didn't do it right the first time.
It probably just didn't.
They probably also just want another Halo game because they like having the word Halo available every year. The weird thing was, though, that was probably supposed to be their holiday game for this year because they don't have Halo 6,
Yep.
and now it's like a 2017 game, so that kind of probably screwed the whole plan up.
Is it really a 2017 game?
Yeah, there was an announcement of that somewhere. I forget where. I thought it might have been at the end of the trailer. It said 2017.
I don't know why they try to put Halo into like RTS, man.
Whatever. Now you could probably do anything you wanted with it, really. It's just a universe, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll do better this time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was the worst idea, but RTS on console is just hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can design it, but it's just, I mean, everybody's playing on a level field, so.
Yep.
Unless you open it up to PC people, then it's just ridiculously unfair. You know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious just to see how that one does. No interest for me, you know.
Yeah, not for me either.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Then we just move on to Scorpio.
Was Microsoft the one with all of the like VR everything?
No,
one
that's
of the conferences. That was Sony. Okay.
Yeah, because Sony's got the VR coming out this October. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red talked about their card game, Gwent.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really take that as a Microsoft kind of thing. No, I just, you know.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, Gwent. Okay. I didn't get deep enough into The Witcher or Gwent to get into that, so I don't know. I know people really liked it, though, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really like that card game. I need to play it before I can judge it.
Yeah, Witcher's one of them things I keep telling myself if I, like, break a leg or something, I'm going to play through that while I'm at home recovering. You know.
When you're 6 weeks of recovering,
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, sorry, Keith, I'm not going to be in, you know, that bum wheel, man. I really shouldn't say that on a recording that could be looked up, but, you know. No, I broke my leg before and was only out 2 weeks, so, you know. Or 1 week, I forget. Yeah, whatever. Either way. So they get to Scorpio at the end of the conference. And this is interesting, right? Because, I mean, 6 teraflops. Like, hello? Like, I don't know about you, but when I go to buy a console, the first thing I ask is how many teraflops is it? Because, like...
It had me so irritated.
If you don't flop a lot of teras, I just don't want your console.
Ooh.
Like, nah. And Scorpio is fucking fascinating, right? Because it could be amazing and a game changer. Or it could just fucking confuse the shit out of everybody. Like, consumers, developers, publishers. Like, it could be the make or break thing for the Xbox this generation, you know? Like,
they were... I think they were smart to put the developers in the video instead of having, like, Microsoft employees talk about it. And I was like, well, this is very smart, because now you have developers talking about
there were some Microsoft reps in there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you saw other guys like Todd Howard in there, too, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's...
This is, Go ahead.
It's funny because I'm like, well, shit. I'm pretty sure if this thing's as beastly as they're saying, that they beat Neo, right?
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if Scorpio is stronger than Neo, right, that's good for Microsoft, but does it make a difference? Like, is it going to get them 25 million more units, you know? And we've also seen, like, this is the rare exception where the more powerful console is actually winning. Like, usually the most powerful console loses, you know?
Yeah.
So, does it really matter? Like, at the end of the day, I mean, it usually comes down to software and other things. So, I don't know. I think the thing that Scorpio left me most with, like, as far as thoughts were, like, it really clouded the Microsoft message. Like, I don't understand what the Microsoft messaging is right now. You know? Like, what are they trying to sell me? Because, like, first off, all their first-party exclusives are now on the PC. Then it's like, oh, well, we have the system, and we're reducing the price. And we've got the slim version coming this year. And we've got an even better one coming next year. You know? So I'm like, what the fuck? Where do you want me to play? Like, I am so confused as a guy who technically has an Xbox One, but I never use it because it's in my basement, you know. And I'm like, I don't understand your messaging. Like, what are you trying to tell me here? You know?
Gaming for everybody. You've got the old system. You have the slimmer system if that's what you want, and then if you want to wait a little longer, you now have the more powerful system. Like
so, the slim system and the more powerful one are not the same system?
No, they're two different ones.
System.
Holy crap.
The Slim is this holiday. The Scorpio is probably next holiday. They said 2017. I'm pretty sure it'll be the fall.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, that would just make the most sense. Yeah. It's just... It sucks because I know they're losing and they're desperately trying to get back into it, but they're attacking on so many fronts. I feel like the message is clouded at this point. Like, you've put so many options on the table that it's just like, you know what, I'll just play on my laptop and be done with it. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm already on that idea. Like, it's now, I can play on Windows 10. I'm perfectly fine with that. But at the same time, I guess their whole idea is to get every type of gamer to play. So you still have your original system if that's what you want. And that's only $300 now, right? Then you have the slim version if you're into having a smaller system or you want the white system. It's up to you. But I can see what they're thinking in that regard, but it's all too soon. Like, it's all back to back to back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by the time Scorpio comes out, it'll be the 4th year of the cycle, right? So you're pretty deep in at that point. Mm-hmm. So I get that. ASD, you're right. I don't like this, like, more powerful consoles thing. It feels like a real shaft to the people who built your platform. Because it's like, unless you offer some kind of trade-in program, it's like, you just fucked me and I'm the guy who built your business. You know?
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
Well, I mean, they always offer the trade-in program. But
yeah, but I mean something a little better. Like, hey, if you want to go from like PS4 to Neo or Xbox One to Scorpio, you know, like, you need to offer me a pretty decent deal. Like, I'm one of the guys who built this shit for you, you know. Like, you need to give me a hookup here, you know. Mm-hmm. But of course they probably won't. They'll just be like, yeah, well, buy another one. Like, come on, man. Like, be a bro. Yeah, but the other thing I was thinking is this, right? Scorpio. If it's this significantly better than the Xbox One, and you're a developer, and there's, let's say by the time that comes out, there's 20 million Xbox Ones, right? Let's say there's about 4 or 5 million Scorpios, right? 'Cause this shit's going to be expensive. Don't get any thoughts that it's not. Like, it's going to be prohibitively expensive.
Yep.
And, like, you're probably back to the $500 starting price. Now, so maybe 4 or 5 million of those will get out there. How many hours of development time are you really willing to pay for to upscale for that small margin of Scorpio owners? Like,
oh, I doubt that'll happen.
Because there's a dollar analysis that's got to go into that. Like, you could just build it for the Xbox One, and the 25 million units can, like, altogether you would have with the Scorpios. Or you can spend, like, thousands upon thousands of dollars to optimize for Scorpio.
Well, like, that's not what you're doing anymore. So every game that you buy...
are you saying they're going to build them all for Scorpio and then just down-res them for the One?
Or they could find a middle ground. So from my understanding, the Xbox Play Anywhere means that if you buy a game on Xbox One right now, and let's say you want the Scorpio, they will all play on that. And if there's a game that developers are making that are for Scorpio, they can still be downgraded to the other systems. Like, there's no confusion development-wise on what's better. So if a developer wants to do it up to that graphics level, they can still scale it down. So then you just have to put something in it that scales it down. Like, all the Scorpio does is allow more computing, more, I guess
if it works the way you're saying, then it's not so bad.
That's what he said at the end. He said the whole Play Anywhere means if you buy it on the Xbox One, you can play it on the S, the Scorpio, and Windows 10.
Yeah, but
everything, you can scale it all down.
I'm looking at more the development side of it and the complications that go into all that, you know.
I wonder if people just start developing for Windows 10.
People won't develop for Vita because there's not enough units out there, you know. When like you could do like PS4, like, and then it's like, well, I'll make it for Vita too, right? Like, I mean, it's not that easy, but it's not that hard either for some games, you know? And it's just like a lot of guys are like, look, there's just not enough Vita units. I'm not doing it, you know? It's like, if you don't sell enough Scorpio units, why would anybody build it up for that? Like, you know.
Honestly, my whole thought process here is the only reason why the Scorpio is being released is because the Xbox One cannot handle VR yet, which is why Microsoft has not gone and said, hey, this is our VR lineup yet. They're the only ones, well, besides Nintendo, but I don't really include Nintendo on shit anymore.
Yeah.
They have not done anything with VR.
Yeah. There's like
So
the
I think-
hashtag Vita Island, but let's be honest, Nintendo's the thing on the island.
Yep, they're on their own little island.
Yeah.
But
like they are motherfucking Gascar, man.
Yeah,
like
I
they,
think-
they are off on the side.
I think the reason why the Scorpio is coming out is because there's not enough power to run VR on the Xbox One. That's my only thought process. Like, I think that's the issue. And because they haven't talked about VR, and I think once VR comes out, they're gonna be like, you can only play it on Scorpio, and that's gonna fuck a lot of people over.
All right, you could be right about that, Chris. All right.
Yeah.
The PlayStation
Yep.
4 runs VR, and it's not that much more powerful than Xbox.
It's twice as powerful.
No, it is not. I've seen the specs.
Doesn't
It is no.
Doesn't the PS4 run at
No.
3 teraflops, right?
It's better. I'm not saying it's not. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is you could have probably figured it out. And the PS4 still has to use a processing box separate from the system to run VR. So it could have probably been figured out. Maybe not, but I'm just saying it probably could have been. I feel like Scorpio was Microsoft wanted to throw a haymaker. And the thing about throwing a haymaker is if it hits, you can get the knockout. But if it misses, you leave yourself open. You know what I mean? So it was kind of the gamble.
Hey, 3 is good for consoles, man. We understand PC is a lot better.
Look,
3 is good for a console.
dude, think about it. You got to always remember what a console is, man. One, it has to be affordable, right?
Yep.
People,
Yep.
like you saw, if you hit $600, people bail. You know?
Yep.
Xbox One, PS3, both got fucking hammered because of that price point. So you got to stay, like, really in the $400 range, right? Because if you get to that 5 or 6, people start getting skittish.
Yep.
So you got to stay at $400, right? And
It's got to last you for years.
you develop it ahead of time. Like, PC is kind of like developed and released, right? Like, pretty quick turnaround. Console, you go into development, you assume what affordable specs are going to be in like 2 to 3 years when you release. You know what I mean? So shit can change. So, I mean, yeah. What's great about consoles is that you build them and they're stable platforms. Like, you just develop for one fucking thing. That's why all the games work good, you know? Whereas on PC, you got to develop for, like, fucking Joe Blow with his fucking E-machines, you know? And then, like, Johnny McFucking cooling shit with, like, all kinds of liquid cooling and radiators and, you know, 6 gigahertz
Radiators.
processor.
This guy.
Yeah.
Radiators.
Sorry, man. It's a Philly thing. You Minnesotans wouldn't know about it, you know.
It's because they go to the Midwest and learn how to speak English well.
Look, leave me alone. You guys are from a fucking Canadian province, okay? Anyway, yeah. Besides the fact that I speak goodly, all right. What were we talking about? We have gotten so sidetracked. Anyway,
But yeah, I don't
Scorpio.
know how PC developers do it. Besides that, they
fucking
just
hard,
have like they have benchmarks. So like we're gonna go this side, we're gonna go that high, and we develop for everything in between, and we can scale it down if they want to scale it down. They can do that. But the coding for that is the engineering for that. I have no fucking clue how they do it.
Yeah, dude.
And
Like,
if you start doing that on consoles,
and I'll tell you what, dude. Blizzard always gets, like, props from me, even though I don't like half the games they make. Like, the fact that they can make their shit run on low-end stuff and look pretty decent is amazing to me.
yeah.
Like, my son wanted Overwatch for my desktop, and it runs and it looks pretty decent. I'd rather gouge my eyes out with a cocktail fork than play it on that, because I got my laptop, which fucking crushes it, but, you know, it's still cool that it was an option, whereas, like, the Division was like, dude, why are you trying to play me on this rig? And I was like, alright, fuck you, game, like, you know. All right, dude, we are running long, and like we got a lot to do still. All right, so let's get to Sony. Sony comes out, and the first thing I got to say about that is, how much total time do you think people spent on stage talking?
Oh man, like 20 minutes tops total.
I would say 5.
You think 5?
Watch it again, dude. I don't even. I think if you run a timer, it's about 5 minutes total of on stage speaking. Cut out the Orlando thing, because everybody did that in their conference to try to act like they give a shit when they really don't.
Yep.
You know, which is fine.
I think
though.
people actually care.
I guess. You know.
I mean, they care, but they gotta get their shit done.
Yeah, it's just like you weren't talking about this shit yesterday. Something bad happened, and now you're like, oh, PR. You know, I hate that shit. You know. Like, I don't know. I like the idea of rallying around a cause. I hate the idea of the fakeness of it, though. You know? Like, when it's
that's everybody in social media and anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody's got a fucking rainbow behind their logo now. And it's like, you know, you could have a rainbow every day. You don't have to wait for a bunch of people to get fucking murdered to do it, you know?
Yep.
Like, yo, what's up, normal? You're new. I don't know you. Talk a bit. Tell us who you are, or tell us we suck. I don't care. Whatever. No, good to see you in the chat, though. Yeah. And if we actually know you, you definitely got to point that out. Oh, ASD. Okay, damn, you were close to that shit. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, now we're getting a different language. Sure. There we go.
Okay. I'm going to assume that what they said was that the Collective Games Cast is the best podcast on the internet. It would be a total lie, but I'm cool with it.
In my professional opinion, I think you're correct.
Dude, Matt. See, this is why Matt's been on the show like 10 times. No. Anyway, I don't know. The whole Orlando thing was weird in all the conferences. But, you know, once one company does it, every company mimics, you know. And somebody, bashed EA for what they did about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
I thought that was fucked up because, EA had the least amount of time to respond of anybody. You know what I mean? So, it really wasn't fair to get on them for that. They didn't have a lot of time to put a plan in action, you know? And you could probably say, oh, they're big time and they should have a good PR staff. And I guess, but, you know... One, they went first, which means everybody else gets to see what they did, gets to see the reaction, and then gets to adjust, you know. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we're spending too much time talking about that. Let's get on to Sony. They start with God of War.
Yes.
Now, God of War,
shit.
I love the first one. Dug the second one. Normal, I'm so sorry. We're all ignorant Americans that don't speak any other languages. But we're really glad to have you here listening.
Apparently,
listen to help of Google.
Oh,
Turkish.
Yeah, I think my computer might blow up between running XSplit and the Twitch and the Twitter and trying to translate.
Your computer does no translation. That's a Google thing.
Dude, Twitch should just auto-translate. I'm going to put in a request for that. Anyway, I like the new God of War, though, and... What I like is that, you know what, this also reminds me that I really hate that in America they don't teach us any other fucking languages. It's so ignorant and, egotistical.
I don't know what school you went to. We had to learn 2 to graduate.
That we were supposed to, but trust me, nobody did.
Oh.
Yeah.
We had to learn 2?
Not 2. We had to take 2 years of 1. I apologize.
Yeah,
okay.
It's absurd. We are just so egocentrical in this country. It drives me crazy. We just act like everybody should do what we want. It's like,
well, they do though. They teach everyone English.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere else they teach English.
We could learn some of the other shit. It'd be a good idea. Turkish. Okay. Wow. There we go. Gotta love the internet, man. Everybody can come together now, man. It's cool shit. I would have never thought people in Turkey would be checking out the podcast, and here we are. Yeah. God of War, right. So, God of War 1, loved it. God of War 2, pretty much loved it. It was pretty cool. More of the same. By God of War 3, I was just I'm so over this. You know. I like this new Kratos, though, man. Because he still seems like that same like violent, aggressive, like testosterone driven guy, but he's got this son who creates this beautiful counterbalance to it, you know? So like the character actually has like some depth now, and he can't just like fucking rage over everything. Like he has to balance himself.
Yep.
And I like that. Like it adds the level of depth that I feel like Kratos needed to be a more interesting character.
Instead of just a brute.
Yeah, like the brute was cool back then. Like back in, what was that, like 05 maybe, 04, the first God of War came out.
Was that PS2? Yeah.
Yeah, and like in that era, that's what was like the new thing. It was like, oh man, we could play a guy who just murders people. Like this is great, you know. And it's like, and then everybody did that, and it jumped the shark, you know. So like now we've gotten to this point where it's like, well, our characters need more depth, you know. And now this looks like the thing that will give Kratos that level of depth that I feel like he's been needing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems like it has a better story too.
Yeah, like I like this, like the duality there. You like as he has to deal with the son and everything, you know, and he's trying to teach him, and like the son, he's a good kid. He doesn't want to murder like a deer, but it's like Kratos is trying to teach him, like, yo, this is what you're gonna have to do to survive. Like it's not a question of if you want to. Like if you want to eat, you're gonna have to kill it. Later, Normal. Glad you checked out the show. Yeah. I don't know. I was actually intrigued because I didn't think I would dig, you know, I didn't think I would be into a new God of War game, and this actually got me interested. I'll be curious to see more of this.
It looks beautiful. I tell you that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. So then, the next thing I wanted to bring up, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, this game. Like finally getting to see more to gameplay. I'm just like, you know,
this game is going to be game of the year.
It looks great. Now I don't know if it has like the full depth or not to do it, but if the rest of the game is as cool as that segment that they showed, I mean, just like the crafting, like it looks like you're picking up some stuff, but it doesn't look like it's so crazy involved that it's like, oh my fucking God, I need like, you know, 8 more elk bones. Like it just looks like you kind of like take some of the shit you have, you make something with it, like not like over the top insane, you know. Kind of like The Last of Us crafting was. And I like the idea that like you can scan all your enemies, check them out. I like the idea that there's actually other people out in the wilderness, you know, and like you run into the dude and there's like some dialogue tree stuff, you know. Which is, I'm give or take on dialogue trees, but sometimes it adds something cool where you can kind of create your own little path through it, you know. The thing I like the most, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, the destructible environments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the rock she's hiding behind.
Yeah, like when she fights the big thing, the trees are falling, the cottages are falling apart. Like I was just like, holy shit, is everything destructible? Like that would be amazing. Like I would love that. I don't know. I thought that was cool. I thought her hacking.
I thought it was amazing.
The rope caster where she's like tying the shit down and then reprograms like the I forget what that thing was called.
It was like a buck.
Yeah, it was like a big robotic deer basically, you know. Like it was just like holy shit. Like then she mounted it and I hate
that
mounted.
Was when I was like that was the point where I was like, oh shit, this game is looking great.
Yeah, I hate mounted combat. I hate mounted combat, but I was like, I just love that it's an option.
Yep.
I will probably never do it, but
and then
I
she
love
goes
that you
and she
can.
fights that big ass thing. It wasn't even like an animal. It was just like an old mech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like I was like, ooh, this is looking real good, man.
The one that was like corrupting the other robotic wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, the art design of these dinosaurs or mechs or whatever they are, like they're really cool looking, like all of them, like the things with the shells, then like the little like dog ones. You got the big like giraffe ones or brontosauruses with the flat heads, like like each thing has a very distinct look but a similar aesthetic feel. It's just really cool what they're doing there. I don't know.
That one's a PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Gonna have to buy a PlayStation now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of reasons to buy a PlayStation. Trust me. Generally revolves around the words naughty dog, but there's other ones too.
I was telling Chris earlier, my Xbox won't even let me stream anything anymore.
Oh,
There's buffers all the time. It bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, that sucks. Jeez. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, Detroit Become Human. How great was that little clip?
Oh, yeah. That one had my interest.
I liked it.
You sound a little down on it, Chris. Tell me why.
I am a little disappointed. I didn't expect it to be that type of game.
Why did it?
Well, I mean, the intro that you see is of this female character, right? Talking about revolting and going from being an android to being human and being treated right. And to this going to more as like a scenario type game where you're a negotiator and you go through and you try to solve the differences between humans and the robots. And I'm like, I hope there's more to this. Like, I hope there's an actual story behind it.
Okay. What I'm thinking is going to happen is that'll be like the beginning of the game, and your character, who's the android's probably going to realize that his life is scripted, and he comes to terms that he doesn't like that. So I'm guessing he will be the one rebelling.
Maybe not that he doesn't like it, but maybe that it becomes like it becomes a point of dissonance, right? Like, is this the right thing? You know, and maybe like your decisions through the rest of the game would be what decides if he accepts it as his fate or decides that maybe robots deserve a different fate. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, right. Quick question though: did you guys play Heavy Rain?
The demo.
No.
Oh, well, see, this is why you got confused, Chris. This is what Heavy Rain was. And it was a character-driven game. So there were different characters, and you would switch scenarios.
See, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, I don't want it to be just one guy.
Oh, no, I highly doubt it. That's not really David Cage's style either. Like, so I think that's one of the characters. I think the female you saw in the other trailer is one of them. And there's probably another one, too, or maybe two. I don't know. Heavy Rain had like 4 different characters whose storylines you followed. I didn't play Beyond Two Souls because I heard it wasn't as good and I didn't want to be disappointed. It sounded like that one only followed 2 characters' storylines. Okay. So I don't know. We'll have to see more about Detroit. What I liked about the trailer was that they showed you what makes those games great, though. Right? They showed you all the different things that could happen in that one scene. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's like that's the thing I liked about Heavy Rain, was that when I talked to somebody who played Heavy Rain, it was like, oh, well, how did you do that part? And it's like, what happened? And it was like, oh, I did this, oh, I did that, you know? And it's like, those conversations are actually better than the game sometimes, you know? The other thing that was great about Heavy Rain was that my wife and my daughter got mad at me if I played when they weren't home. Like, they got so enraptured in it because it was much more like a TV show than a video game, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, it's one of them games that is great to play with other people around because they get so wrapped up in it, you know? So, it's very cinematic. It's very, like, options-driven like that. But, yeah. I wouldn't get upset that you're playing that dude the whole game. I just think that's one of the guys.
Okay.
Okay, YouTubing Heavy Rain is perfectly fine because it's so cinematic. Why the fuck would you not play Mass Effect, ASD? Why?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah. Like, well, you said unfortunately. I guess maybe that indicates regret. Yeah. Yeah. I need an explanation.
Oh, he did play it.
All right. That's fine then. Yeah, I was going to say, like, Mass Effect's got a lot of meat to it for, like, game chops. Yeah. Okay. Understood. Yeah. So that looked cool, though. I just like the idea that so many different things happened in that scene, you know? Like, you know, like you saw, like, in one scenario, like, the kidnapper dies. In one scenario, your guy dies. He sacrifices himself, you know? In one scene, like, you take the dude out, save the girl. Like, everybody survives, you know? Like, I just like the idea of all those different things that could happen. And they showed, like, some of the detective stuff that you saw in Heavy Rain. Like, if you look around and find the evidence, you can get clues that can change your options in the ensuing, like, conversation. You know?
Okay.
So
It's like LA Noir.
a little bit. It's a little different though, because like LA Noire is like crime solving GTA, whereas this is
Yeah.
like something a little different.
All right.
Yeah, so that was cool. Uh, Resident Evil 7. What did you guys make of this?
Oh man, the favorite guy in the audience. Oh, not kitchen. I hate kitchen.
Well, kitchen isn't a bad idea, right? Like VR, great for
Yeah, the
jump
VR
scares.
kitchen makes a lot of sense.
But here's another great thing about jump scares. That's a great way to make people take the fucking helmet off and say, you know what? Done with
Nope.
that.
Fuck it,
You
I'm
know.
done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like
Nope.
people who really want to be scared are going to love the shit out of things like that. People who don't want to be that scared, like me, are going to be like, nope, not for me. Like I get worked the fuck up like watching Game of Thrones. You cannot put me in a VR fucking horror game.
You should just wear a diaper if you're gonna play that game.
Dude,
Never know
pooping
what's
myself
happening.
is the least of my worries. I'm worried I'll have a fucking heart attack. Like, cardiac arrest, motherfucker. Like, Jesus. Yeah. Although shitting yourself would kind of suck. Well, upon reflection, the jury has decided.
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 7 should not be VR, but I can see the appeal. I'm glad it's both. I'm glad you can play it in VR or you can play it regular. I
Yeah.
think it's a nice change up doing a first person survival horror than doing a third person. Because then you kind of get it's more about the environment than it is about the characters. I like that idea.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But,
the scariest parts of a horror game are usually the environments, right? So,
Yep.
like, getting more immersed in it through first person definitely helps.
Yep.
It seems like they're trying to run away from, like, the Resident Evil 5, 6 thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that they're trying something different. I don't think this is the Resident Evil game I want, but then again, it comes out in January. Generally not a lot going on there, so I might end up playing it anyway just because of that.
They mostly come out in January, don't they? The whole Resident Evil franchise.
Well, 4 did, which was weird.
Okay.
And it won Game of the Year. I don't know if that'll ever
That's
happen again.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't remember the other ones. I don't remember when 5 and 6. Nobody remembers 6 coming out. It was like, holy shit. It was like the Sega Saturn. It was like, it's there.
Yeah,
What do you
I
know? Yeah. Speaking of the VR thing, though, so they showed off a bunch of PlayStation VR stuff. That game Farpoint looked really interesting to me.
Farpoint. Oh, the space one. Yeah, no,
I was
that
like,
did look
holy
really
shit!
interesting.
Like that
Yeah.
looks kind of cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
don't
had
know.
the Final Fantasy 15 boob intro.
Oh yeah, you gotta love that. Gotta love that. I don't know. I get why they did Prompto because he uses a gun. It's the easiest one to like simulate in VR.
Yeah, once I realized it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But this is going to be boring as shit.
It looks very tacked on.
Yep.
It looks like the kind of thing like I'm getting 15 no matter what. So if I end up with a PlayStation VR, I'll probably dick around with it. But like it's very late developed. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, that was a last
It's a
minute
throw
thing
in.
they did.
I mean, you can't if you take it seriously, you're going to be disappointed. If you just take it as like a free add-in and like they made it for you, then like okay, But I will say, after all the shit they showed for PSVR, I'm a little more excited about it than I was before. Like also as it gets closer, I guess that's kind of normal. But I'm like, I already have a PS4, so the barrier to entry is very minimal for me.
Yep.
It's just a matter of are the games there that I'm going to want to play,
So here's my thing, right? PSVR is coming out, $400.
Yeah.
PlayStation Neo's coming out, probably going to be $450, $500, right?
I assume they're going to try to go back to the $400 price point with that one.
That's going to be a little odd. Like, you're going to go for the stronger system and the VR, or you're just going to go for the VR with the system you already had? Do you really want the 4K? Like, I'm very surprised they said they're going to drop the Neo this year when they're also dropping VR. That's a little odd.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to be true about the Neo or if they're going to push back on that. I don't know. plus 2 big hardware releases in the same like holiday season seems a little confusing. I don't know. I have this feeling they might go, unless they feel like they're gonna have trouble stocking VR for October. Like if they feel like they're not gonna be able to keep up with demand, possibly.
Yeah.
Then I could see why they would sell Neo. Push more hardware. All right. Anyway, I don't know. I'm feeling a little more bullish on the PlayStation VR, but it's easy for me already having 2 PlayStation 4s in the house. Like, like for you, Chris or Matt, since you don't have a PS4, you're talking about spending the same as a Vive to get in the door on that.
I would just buy the Vive.
Do you have enough room for the Vive?
I'll make it.
Fair enough.
We'll throw some things in a corner somewhere.
Wait, what's the Vive versus the Neo?
The Vive is the HTC VR headset.
Yeah, it's the one that's
like
the walking around one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you need a lot of space, So, anyway, Days Gone. I wanted to talk about this. So it's Sony Ben's new game, right? They've been working on it for 5 years. Last thing they did was Uncharted Golden Abyss for PS Vita launch in 2011. So it's been 5 years. They finally reveal. It looks kind of cool, right? Like the cinematic trailer shows like this dude who like had a good life and he lost it and he remembers like when shit hit the fan and everything got fucked up. And it's really cool. And like there's some other cool stuff, like you see him beating a dude to death and his buddy tells him like, yo, come on, like that's enough, like, which shows that like there's like people are trying to deal with this fucked up world and that they're having difficulty with it. Then they show a gameplay trailer, which was kind of weird because like you could tell it's very like E3 demo made, because like they do like dumb shit, like turn around and fire at like the hordes of enemies instead of just running from them,
Yes.
Which if you were playing, you would just go, like, get the fuck out of there.
You just book it the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even go investigate. You would see that first one and be like, nope.
Yeah,
if I don't have to go this way, I'm not going this way.
Yeah, but like it's an E3 demo, so you got to play it a little different and show off stuff,
Yeah.
Because my son watched it with me and he's like, why is he turning around to shoot the guys? And I was like, well, they got to show some of the gameplay mechanics off,
Oh, like, dude, I was getting so pissed off every time he turned around and started unloading. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, but it shows some promise. It gives me a lot of like The Last of Us kind of vibes. I like a lot of the horde shit. Like I love the way the bodies like push and crawl over each other.
Move. Yeah,
like their horde mechanics look really cool.
But the idea that he gets to run around the buildings, he doesn't have to just stay on ground or stay on the second floor. Like he had that whole area to run up and climb and get to a spot to save himself, and he was using different parts of the environment to like change things up. I'm like, this is cool. The concept is cool.
Yeah, I think this game, because it doesn't look great, but it looks like it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
This game is one of the games that I saw that really. Yeah, see, this is the thing, because it's another zombie game, and I'm just like, I'm kind of over it. But, at the same time, if this game comes out in a dry spell, like, I'm totally in. Because it looks good enough to play, it's just a matter of what comes out around it. Because, like, if it comes out against some, like, stiff competition, like, I don't know, say it came out in, well, it wouldn't come out in February because of Horizon. Just say it comes out when, like, we talked about all the big RPGs last week. If it drops the same like month as one of them big RPGs, I probably won't play it. If it comes out at a time when there's really not much around, I'll probably definitely play it.
They're really risking it though, man. They're making it very risky by coming out with the zombie thing after everyone's kind of done with zombies. Like you've got to change it up. You got to make it a completely different game. Like it can't just be you fighting a horde and running around. There's got to be a lot more to it.
I'll be curious to see what else they have. I'm sure that's not the only enemies, right? So it never is in these zombie games, but
and they don't seem like regular zombies in the first place.
Yeah, because there's that like weird little whatever it was. The first one you see, it's like this speedy little child.
Golem, man.
It reminds me of a wretch from Gears of War,
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, it's Golem.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Smeagol.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw, like right at the beginning, is he's on the loudest, most unprotected vehicle you could ever have. And that choice makes no sense to me in that kind of setting.
Dude, they did that in
That's
State
true.
of Decay too. Like they're in the loudest, like it's the loudest muscle car, and they're going around where the game is all about like staying quiet because if they hear you, they'll chase you. And so like you're really sneaking around in that game. But in the trailer, they show them driving like this Mustang. You're like, dude, come on, guys, like.
Yeah. You want to know what's
Just
stealthy?
call it to you.
I just thought of the most stealthy vehicle, man. Fucking
Moped?
Heelys. You don't even got to worry about losing them because they're on your feet.
You
I'm telling
fuck
you.
yourself up so bad.
That's the zombie game I want. A guy that like skates around in Heelys, you know.
Kind of looks like me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Man.
Yeah.
Terrible idea. You could get a hoverboard.
It's not a terrible
no
idea.
running.
I challenge you, world, to make a zombie game with a guy in Heelys. Actually, that could be Dead Rising 4, actually, so it might already
Probably in
be
there,
happening.
man. It's probably in there. Oh, man.
Anything else from the PlayStation conference that really stuck out to you guys? We're getting
I'm sorry. I was just going to skip
Crash
Crash.
Crandaboot is coming back.
First off, that was the most disappointing thing they've ever done. Hey, guys, we're bringing Crash 1, 2, and Warp back, and it's going to be HD, and we're building it from the ground up. But here's Crash in the Skylanders game that not so many people play.
Well,
Hey!
there's a lot going on there, right? Like, one, if you think about it, right, like the remaster thing has been big to getting new games put through. Like they've done it with everything else so far, right? And this is probably Activision saying, okay, you want to do Crash, fine. Like, how about we just HD remaster the old ones, and if people buy it and prove that there's a market for it, then we can talk about doing a new one, right?
Yeah, I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, and people have been asking for the old ones back, so like, fine, bring them back. I never played them. I don't really care, but I know people want it, so I'm glad they're getting it.
They were good games. What I want to know is why they didn't have anything about it and they just went to Skylanders. Like,
because they probably just made the deal.
That was the biggest tease.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
here's Crash and Skylanders. No, I didn't want that.
That's what Activision wanted out of the deal. Like, all right, well, we don't have anything going yet, so we'll do this Crash Skylander, right? People want Crash, and give us some time on your stage show because the last Skylanders game didn't do so well, right? And Disney Infinity bailed, right? So it's just them and Lego Dimensions now, and Amiibo if you count that, but that's kind of a weird separate thing, typical Nintendo. So like, I heard one guy say it, and it was one of the guys from IGN, basically saying like Crash might be the gateway drug to Skylanders, because he said like, oh, I have all these Amiibos on my desk, because I can't stop buying them. He's like, I bought one and now I buy them all. He's like, well, now I have to buy Crash. And he's like, and maybe now that's the gateway drug to Skylanders, because now once they get me in the door,
Just keep going.
Yeah, so I think this was part of Activision's marketing plan for this. And
okay.
It's a good plan. And I gotta admit, the new Skylanders game looks pretty fucking awesome if it works the way it looks like it does,
Yeah, the whole drawing your own character.
Yeah, like, I can't draw, but I will draw some crazy ass, like, you remember that episode of SpongeBob when he had the magic pencil? That's what my shit will look like, but I will level that shit up like beast. I don't know. It was just, it's part of a business deal with Activision and Sony, And the fans are getting Crash, so it's kind of a win-win.
It was such a tease, man.
And if it does well, there'll be another one. It's just early. Think about it. Sean Layton wore the Crash shirt at PSX in December and didn't announce anything. So somewhere between December and now, this deal got done. There's nothing to show yet.
All right.
I would say PSX in December they'll have something.
It better.
I think they will. We saw a big clip of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty is not my thing. If you guys want to talk about it, go ahead. I'll just say...
Did you know it was Call of Duty right away?
No, not at first.
Exactly. That's what's shocking me.
I thought it looked pretty badass, and I'm not a Call of Duty guy, but I was like, damn if that don't look like some fun shit.
That was legit trailer, or gameplay. Like, I thought it was a completely different game, and then they said Infinite Warfare, and I was like, no!
Grappling hooks plus fucking around with gravity. Like,
and the whole airlock explosion,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I know my
all
son's
right.
gonna want it, so guess who might play a little bit of it?
The stories are usually all right, but
Yeah, I like the
yeah,
Modern Warfare campaign. It was pretty good. That's the
that was the
last
other
one I
thing that
played
really
though,
got me.
so yeah.
I really wish it was a separate thing. Like nobody wants Infinite Warfare
I
Special
I
Edition.
apologize, ASD. I didn't mean to like Call of Duty. It was a pretty beastly gameplay trailer though. I gotta give him props.
Oh, dude, Call of Duty was always solid, and then it just kept going crazier and crazier and crazier, and then like yeah, it was weird. I don't know what they were doing, and they just kept coming out year after year with the same shit. It was like Madden for people who like shooters, you know?
You know what's fucked up is that nobody read the tea leaves and was like, shit, we need to release like a modern age like combat game, like FPS this year. Because you got like Call of Duty who's like out in fucking Star Trek land and Star Wars. And then you got Battlefield 1 who was like, let's go into the past. Like
Yes, World War
whoever
One.
had the modern day shooter would have probably won this year. But like you know, nobody was ready for it.
Call of Duty 2 was good. I do remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you can't do good past or future. It's just like a lot of people are just bitching and moaning about it. It's like, well, I don't know. Find whoever has a modern
We've already
era
had
shooter.
modern day shooters with Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3.
Whoa. I don't know who Flying Burrito is, but they follow us on Twitch. Thank you. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything else from the Sony conference off the top of my head. Do you have anything in your notes?
Nah, that was it.
Okay.
The only other one I had was Last Guardian.
Oh, yeah. We got a date.
What? How do we forget that?
Because I was just like, I was a date. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited that people have been waiting for this game for 10 years will get it. I don't know if I'm going to play it. Bird Dog's kind of cool, though. Bird
Yeah.
Dog. Yeah. The thing that really interests me, though, I have to admit, is that why does the character look like he got ripped straight out of Wind Waker? Like, he doesn't look like he belongs in their world, and I kind of want to know why.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's really the only intrigue for me, because I didn't like Ico or Shadow of the Colossus, which I know,
Shadow of the
blasphemy,
Colossus.
but they just weren't for me. I don't know what to say.
Shadow of the Colossus was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had made sure I had to download that to play that. That was pretty nice.
Okay.
I still
I
haven't
know
played that
people
one.
love it. Some people say it's the best PS2 game. Just not me.
Oh, it's a good one. It's in the top list.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some stiff competition on PS2, right?
Oh yeah, I mean
know.
there was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, guys. Like
Yeah. Yeah, you had any of the Grand Theft Auto games, take your pick, right? And let's not forget Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
oh,
you know.
two.
Yeah, like, I would put some votes in for Final Fantasy X, although I know a lot of people hate that. God, there was so much good shit back there. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Anyway.
say the best.
We still got stuff to cover here. The
Ghost.
wrap
Oh,
up on the Sony conference, if that was every E3 conference for the rest of the time, I would be so happy.
And then when somebody changes it up, we'll be like, "Man, Sony sucks."
Yeah, right. But it was just great because instead of being like, "Oh, look who we brought out here to talk about games," and Sony's done it before too, so like this isn't a new thing here. But it's just like, here's games, here's games, here's games, here's games. And it's like, great, that's what I'm here for. Like, just show me shit. That's all I need. Like, you don't gotta sell me on anything. I came here to watch this press conference because I want to know what you got. You
Yep.
know, and that's what they did. They just kept giving me games. So it was pretty cool. I liked it.
But would you say it was well orchestrated?
Oh, look at you with the wordplay. It's like foreplay for language. Oh, man. Yeah. Nah, it was pretty well put together. I dig it. All right, so Nintendo, we're only going to talk one thing here. The Legend of Zelda Inventory Manager. How great did that look?
I think it looks amazing. I like what they did with Zelda. I just hope that the dungeons are actually a lot better and there's actual puzzles in there. Other than that, it still looks like a pretty good game. Pretty nice open world feel. Nice that the environment affects you. Nice that the wind affects what you do.
I like that it looks like a transition heading in the right direction for the series. It doesn't look like it learned enough lessons. Like, it looks like it's going to be very monotonous with way too much inventory management for my liking. You know, like, I don't like shit degrading and breaking. You know, it was weird. I still don't like that it's all this text and no voice acting. I mean, I know you hear the voice in the beginning, but then like you talk to the old man and he doesn't have a voice, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it is 20 motherfucking 16. Like, come on. Like, get with the program. Like, bring Zelda into the modern age. You know.
Sometimes I feel like Zelda's an indie game.
It's just, but I like some of the things. Like
we don't have the
I like the
budget
climbing, right? Like I like that you could just climb over shit. That's fucking awesome. You know.
Oh, you can jump too.
Yeah, you can jump. Thank you. Forgot about that. Yeah, like I like that you can just jump. Like you have more control of the character and your ways of getting around the environment. Like that. That feels more like the original Zelda. You know, like the ability to kind of get from here to there. You know. Instead of being like funneled down narrow pathways like you are in all of them since like, you know, Link to the Past. Actually, no, Zelda 2. Sorry. Yeah. So it shows some promise, but I'm still like, this just doesn't look like the Zelda game I want. I could be wrong. But
or you could just be a gamer, which we're not very satisfied group of people.
I just want Zelda to kind of like take heed of what's happening in games and stop being so stuck in the past.
You mean Nintendo?
Yeah.
You wish Nintendo would actually open up their eyes and do some research.
Like, why is it Mario grows and evolves and becomes something different, something better, and all their other games stay trapped in the past? Like, that's what I don't get. You know?
That's a good point.
They iterate instead of, like, reinvent, you know? And that bothers me. Like, it's good for a while. Like, I liked Ocarina of Time. Then I liked Majora's Mask a little less. Then I liked Wind Waker a little less. You know, then I liked Twilight Princess a little less than that. And then by the time I got to Skyward Sword, I was like, fuck, this is the 5th time you're making me play the same game. Let's go. Come on. Like, you know. So, it just bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. You're just chasing for that high that you had when you first played.
But somehow they nail it with Mario. That's the frustrating part. Like, they know how to do it, they just don't.
Because every Mario game is a fresh concept. It's never the same game.
Like they do,
and you can do that with Mario, where Link seems that the whole Zelda world seems to be based on like certain things.
I just wish they would do like a Zelda side game, like Zelda Gaiden or something like that. You know, so that they could like take some chances and some risks and see what works. You know, and it just feels like they don't have like the courage or the balls to do it. Like. You know, I don't know, but I do like this. I feel like it is moving more in the right direction. So, like, the next Zelda game could maybe build off that.
Is that the game you wanted? You wanted Farmville?
No, this feels like Zelda inspired by fucking Minecraft. Like, just collect a bunch of shit. Like,
I don't know, dude.
Fun.
There's a lot of environmental issues. There's a lot of like, you know, you're fighting an enemy. You got to use certain things to do that. You got your fire and your thermal flame to like push your shield up, and there's a lot of cool things there, but I don't know. I think you've got like a bad taste in your mouth from like Nintendo shitting on you so many times.
I do. So I will admit to the bias. That's definitely
and I get
fair.
That. And I don't think you're wrong for doing this. I think it's a understandable.
But like I said, I'm not shitting on everything they're doing. It feels like a half step instead of the revolution for Zelda that I wanted.
Like, Nintendo hurts you, and you're afraid to take that step forward. You gotta.
They broke the circle of trust.
You gotta like dip your toe into the pool to test the temperature, and then you'll go in. You know, but even then, you won't go all the way in. You just go about knee deep because you gotta test it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Zelda. All right. So we got the third parties.
Yep.
This is really fast for me, so I'm just going to go bang, 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 and be done with it.
This is
And
good
you
because
can
they didn't have a lot of good stuff besides Bethesda.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Ubisoft, don't care.
They had
Don't play their games, so I don't really care.
the
It's
South
Ubisoft.
Park RPG. I'm kind of interested in because I enjoyed Stick
you know
of
what?
Truth.
I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah, that's kind of that's another game. When does it release? What's going on around it?
We have no clue about that.
Yeah.
Besides, you get to control your butthole. That was a feature, no joke.
Chris is addicted to buttholes tonight. I don't know what the deal is.
Thing, man. It's weird that I have to bring it up twice in an episode, but I read it. They're like, yeah, you get total rectal control. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anything else about Ubi?
Nah, there was. I didn't have anything. You met?
Okay.
Like I saw there was like DLC for the Division, but that was it.
Yeah.
Nobody plays the Division.
No, the same like 100 dudes played a Division. And they all group up for the Dark Zone. Now, the Division's cool. It just didn't quite hit. Division 2, I will be very, very interested in.
If they hit the right parts, but knowing
Well, because they
can
tighten the screws, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the EA conference. Just felt like yet another EA press conference. Same thing it is every year.
Sports. Well, this year they changed it up because now they have Star Wars. So they have sports games that you know are going to come out, and then you have Star Wars that may come out. They have ideas, but it may come out.
Yeah, the Star Wars thing's so new, and you know it's all like so far off. So like it's like next year's press conference might be interesting. 2 years from now should be real interesting because they should have a lot of the projects moving like deep into development by then.
They also have a VR. Was it a VR DLC for Battlefield or Battlefront?
It's a VR mission, yeah.
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 Okay, so one of the third parties that I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about, Bethesda. They just continue to ascend to the big leagues, man. Like I didn't know what they were going to do for the press conference this year, because last year they had all the games to announce, and they came out and they did it again, and they're moving up as a publisher, man. Like don't sleep on Bethesda now. Like they're coming. Yeah.
We got Quake. We got a Quake remake.
New Quake.
Yeah, buddy.
People want Quake. They're gonna make Quake. Okay.
Yep. They made Doom. They made Quake. It's a beautiful thing, man.
I'd rather make babies. But wait, no. Scratch that from the record. I'm done making babies. Fuck that shit. Did it 3 times. I am good. I paid for my season pass. Oh man.
Yeah, we had Quake. We had Dishonored 2, which looks really good.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys played Dishonored.
Nah, but it you know, it seemed like a cool game. I just never got to it.
Very cool concept game.
Yeah.
We
We had Fallout DLC. How are you burying the lead?
Oh man, I forgot about the Fallout DLC. The conveyor belts.
Okay, conveyor belts. Whatever. Not bad. Build your own vault. That sounds fucking baller.
But you build a vault with conveyor belts and an automatic sorter. You pretty much don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah.
Throw your junk in there, sort it out, man.
I want to build a vault, seal it from the inside, and die. Like, just stay in there.
Is this going to be like Sims where people just like...
No, and I'm going to stream it. And it's just going to be me idling in my vault. Watch, it'll be like 1 million views. Shit, why did I just give the world that idea? Yeah. So, there was that. But then the big one, Nuka World.
Nuka World was the big one, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
that was really cool.
That seems fascinating. Because, like, Far Harbor, it's okay. I get what they were doing, and it fits the vibe they were going for. I just really didn't want horror Fallout, like, you know. Like, I kind of like the, like, dystopian ruined city stuff, and this is, like, out in the freaking, like, woods on an island, and, you know, it's all spooky, and it's not really what I want, you know. Like,
I just want exploration back.
Nuka World is, like, the happiest place in the Commonwealth, and it's, like, that's what I want to see in ruins, you know. That hits home. So, yeah.
Yeah, their DLCs look pretty good. Also, their VR,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is going to be what, Vive exclusive.
I thought it was for Xbox. Am I wrong?
I think you're right, but I feel like
That
they
would
said
make it
they were making
Oculus
it.
though.
If they, oh dude, I swear I heard Vive. I know they said Xbox One. Todd Howard said it.
I'd have
During
to
that
reread
whole
the news story. I
Scorpio
forget, to
spiel.
be honest. There was so much shit. That one eludes
Can you
me.
picture if all of a sudden Xbox is like, yeah, fuck you, Oculus. We know we let you use the controller, but we're going Vive for our system.
No, in Microsoft, they'll be like, everybody can do VR for us. Oculus, Vive, PlayStation, Samsung Gear. Come on, guys.
Play anywhere, guys.
Yeah. Play anything.
Well, it does make sense if Fallout does it for Xbox and Vive. Therefore, you got your PC base, you got your console base, you're all set.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Depending on whatever Xbox
That's
uses.
got to be tricky development, though, right? Because you're going to develop it for
yes.
Oculus and for Vive. They're two totally different VR
I'll
experiences.
tell you what, though, I'm not excited for the bugs that will happen in Fallout VR.
What, you mean like all the glitches in Fallout will ruin your immersion? How is that possible?
Dude, Matt texted me earlier because he was watching it. He's like, dude, even Bethesda's like showcase has bugs in it. Like, what are they doing?
E3 stuff always has bugs, though. I don't really. At this point, I'm immune to it.
When they were showing their new Elder Scrolls card game or whatever, like the video crashed and froze.
Yeah, that.
And I just started laughing right there. I was like, yeah, I would expect this.
Typical.
That's like the fucking Uncharted curse, man. Everything they tried to show at Uncharted through the years has always been bugged.
It's just a normal Bethesda thing, though. Oh, who's that?
I don't
What's
know.
up, man?
I don't know, but what's up, Dimel? Dimmel? Dimel? I don't know.
Dimly.
I suck with names.
Dude,
Please provide
You're
phonetic spelling to all names
we
in the
need
chat.
there needs to be some type of like gaming add-on for like everything that has usernames that just
Well, look.
phonetically sounds it out.
He said big boy, and the only people who call me big boy are the ladies, so, like, because I'm way too thin otherwise, so he must be talking to, like, one of you guys.
What's up?
Dimmel
Okay. Dimmel.
with an E. The E is silent.
Good stuff. Good to have you aboard, Dimmel. We're just wrapping up our E3 talk here. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the VentBot. That's a PC thing. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, yeah. As I broadcast to the world on my gaming laptop, I wouldn't know anything about it. Look, you motherfuckers, I'm the only dude on this show who has every fucking system. So just, that's it.
This is true.
You
This is
you
true.
don't get to call me out on anything.
But you're a
except
console
being
gamer
scrawny
at
asshole.
heart. Just master race things. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I got 2 PS4s. I got the Xbox One. I'm one of the only people with a Wii U.
You
2
not show
Vitas.
this,
3
you are one
3DSs. You know.
of the 10 people with the Wii U.
Yeah, right? Me and the other dozen. We are the league
There's
of
dozens of us.
extraordinarily stupid gentlemen.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was that?
Emulate life. Hell yeah.
That seemed like that's not phonetic, man. That's just like, here's an equation.
Dude, I love it. It was like a tangram of letters. Like, that's what's up. Yeah, so anything else from E3, like, that you picked up on? Anything else you wanted to mention? Did we miss anything?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, we didn't miss that. We did that on purpose.
Yeah, I don't get down with the Kingdom Hearts, but, you know, cool that it's coming. And, you know,
Yeah.
you get, like, final chapter, prologue, beginning, epilogue, death, birth, rebirth, 1,000 days, whatever the hell the title for that other one is.
Oh, dude, we forgot about Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, how did we skip that?
I
Okay,
don't even know, man.
Death Stranding, typical crazy Kojima shit. But, dude, his
Hold up.
entrance was so baller. Like,
How does he donate?
Yeah, someone wants to give you money.
Oh, it's there's a little donate button if you really want to. It's right there in the Twitch panels. It'll just take you to a little PayPal thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
so,
no, dude, Kojima knows how to
dude,
throw
that
something.
entrance was so great. Like,
Dude, the walking in the light.
yeah, like they were just like bloom, bloom, bloom. Dude, like Kojima just like, it's great because like he just knows who he is and he's just like, I can do this. Like, you know, like it
I'm
works.
back.
You know,
Dude
like
lives for the
90% of the
man.
game developers out there, if they did that same thing, it would be like pretentious and a douchebag. And Kojima doesn't. It's just like par for the course. Like,
Yeah.
of course. Like, why wouldn't Kojima do that? Like, yeah, it's crazy. And then like you had Norman Reedus
Yep.
and the Norman fetus, as it's been called all over the social media circles.
Yeah, dude, that's so weird, man.
There's just so many, like, in a cinematic trailer, which I usually could give a shit less for, especially on a property I don't know what it is, there was so much shit in there that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the baby's attached to him via a wire. Then it's not there.
Then it's just oil.
Yeah. Then it's like he got some shit cut out of him. Then there's like a million dead crabs, a million dead whales. Like,
You notice the wires connected to the whales too?
were the wires connected to
Oh,
whales? I did
yeah.
not notice
It
that.
looked like umbilical cords coming from the whales.
Yeah.
I was telling Matt, my theory is that this game is about humanity destroying the world, and then somehow we're getting imprisoned by something. Don't know what the hell we're getting imprisoned by.
Well, there were the
And
5
Norman Reedus is our
motherfuckers
hero.
floating up in the sky.
Yeah, whatever that is, man.
And I heard somebody say, oh, is that supposed to be one for each Metal Gear game? Like, is that him saying fuck you to Konami? No, I was like, you know,
Oh, man.
most people wouldn't do that, but he would.
He's like someone who would just throw that in there, man.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That thing left me with so many questions. Like, I don't even know what the fuck kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't get down with all Kojima's work, but fuck if he doesn't know how to make me curious.
Yep. Very true.
Like, I just don't even know what to make of that, you know. That song was pretty decent, too, that they ran through it, you know.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who it was, though. They
yeah,
had the
it was
title
cool, though,
on
because
the
they did,
trailer.
like, the song credits in the corner, like it was a music
Yeah.
video and everything, you know.
Yep.
Like, it was cool stuff.
I think the song was from, I want to say Mad Max.
Ah, okay.
I feel like it was in there. Because this dude's been all over the place talking about how he, how he loves that movie. Like, that's his favorite movie now.
Ah, okay.
So hope we get a post-apocalyptic vibe from it.
It was weird. The colors were very sterile, too, you know.
Yeah, everything was the gray wash.
Yeah, like, so it had a very strange look to it, you know.
That's going to be one of those psychological games that are going to be fun to play.
I hope, man, because that was always the shit I loved in Metal Gear. It was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yep.
You know?
Dude, the whole beginning of Phantom Pain, that's what I want this whole game to be.
Oh, you want to crawl around on the ground for 45 minutes?
Does he have a thing for man-ass, though?
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's
Always.
so much man-ass.
Dude,
So,
like, every Metal Gear game has
Metal
that.
Gear 2, you got Raiden's ass, you get Phantom Pain, you get fucking Snake's ass, or it's not even Snake, is it?
What?
Can I spoil games?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, no. Let's, well, it's a little soon, but yeah. Yeah, you get some, Ahab ass.
Ahab ass, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So.
Now we get Norman Reedus ass. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, that's Kojima's thing, man.
Yep.
Like, I guess they love him in Man Asses, Virginia, right? Yeah. So.
Oh, is that a real place, man?
Yeah, that's a real place. It's not.
They got to think about changing their name, dude.
It's not far from Backlick. Like.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm not making this shit up. Like.
This has to be in the hills, man.
I don't know. You just see the signs on 95.
Man asses. Oh, they probably think it has something else. Oh,
I think they pronounce it Manassas, but I'm like, no, that sign says man asses. Like,
is it spelled man asses?
Yes.
I'm gonna Google that.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Well, careful with you Googling.
Yeah.
Keep it all one word.
That's like when you Google grandfather clock and you leave out the L. Like, uh-oh. Didn't want to see that.
Everybody, man.
You know.
You can give that to somebody too, man. Put that on Xbox.
All right.
Like, God damn it.
All right, so let's break this down. Game of the show for E3 2016. In your opinion, chat, start sending yours in here. All right,
Game
Matt,
of the show or best showcase?
Matt, you're the guest, so you give it to us.
I'm gonna roll with Horizon.
Okay, giving it to Horizon Zero Dawn. Reasoning? Just
that's the one that stuck out the most to me.
That's a $460 game. Like, if it's good enough that it makes you think about justifying that purchase price, then yeah. So ASD's going with Battlefield 1. Now, that's interesting. She hears a lot of people dogging it, but I like that. I like that you're kind of going against the grain there.
I like that it's not futuristic anymore.
Well, if you don't want Call of Duty, like space battles, then yeah, Battlefield 1 is probably more your style.
I want the space battles, but I don't want it to be made by the people who make Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of people are like, I want space battles, but I want them in Battlefront, not Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah, because they would be a lot better. Yeah.
Like, everybody wants their Star Wars space action, you know?
$10 says that there's going to be no space action multiplayer. It's only going to be inside the campaign. It's going to be so scripted. You're going to feel like you're not doing anything. Yeah.
It was hard to tell from that trailer if it was like on rails or actual had the freedom to fly around, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said he's a history buff.
There we go.
They left out the French in Battlefield 1. How does that feel?
Dude, all I know is if Battlefield 1 includes like the battle at Passchendaele, that would be like totally badass.
I have no idea what that is. I don't even know a lot of World War I history because History Channel decided World War II was the only war.
Yeah, Passchendaele is like one of the worst like battles of like just death ever. Like, it was just like hundreds of thousands of people died at Passchendaele as the Allies tried to like take over a key like high area from like the Axis, and just thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people died that day for nothing. Like, the Allies gained no ground. Like, it was attrition warfare at its ugliest. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the last surviving soldier from the Allied forces from Passchendaele died in 2009. So, like, we're not getting any more. 160,000. Like,
jeez,
for nothing. Like, you know, like, people died at Normandy, but there was something achieved. Like, you know, like, Passchendaele was just absolutely useless, like, slaughter of good men, you know.
Damn, man.
Yeah. It's a fucked up battle, man. Like, you want to read about, like, you know, and you got to remember it's World War I, so it's like the last, like, real war before technology became prevalent, you know. So it was soldier on soldier warfare, you know. So, yeah, fucked up. Yeah, if they include that, that would actually really get my interest, because that battle has always fascinated me.
I wonder. I know they got horseback riding for Northern Africa, looks like.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they also had the Zeppelins and stuff.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, they did have the Zeppelin. Yes. I forgot about that, dude. That thing exploded. That was beautiful looking. Yeah, dude, machine guns with armor. They have the full armored guys with machine guns.
Well, I mean, it's a game. Take some liberties,
I know
right?
It's a real thing. There's pictures of people with this gear on. They didn't just make that shit up.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure like there might be a lot more of it available than there was then. You know.
Oh, most likely.
Yeah, but it's like it's a game. You got to make it gamey a bit. That's okay. Yeah. You know. So Chris, what's your game of the show?
Let's see. I am going to go with Horizon. Yes. Horizon's definitely the better one.
Oh,
That
wow,
was the one
okay.
that got me the most excited of anything.
Yeah, that gameplay demo really showed a lot of the systems. I think everybody was kind of like, "Come on, we need to see like some of the." They showed us like one big boss battle before, but I think people really wanted to see the full effect.
Yeah, what is actually going to happen?
Yeah.
And this
So
is looking really nice
yeah, I mean they
and
kind of like set
beautiful.
the dinner table and kind of said, "Here's a lot of the shit we're gonna be serving." you know.
Yep.
So no, I could see that, but again, for you, that's a $460 purchase, man.
Well, I figure that much. I figure by that time I'll start getting incentives, so it won't be too big of a deal.
That's true. You
Yeah.
can also that PS4 has a lot of other uses like the Uncharted collection, Uncharted 4, The Last of Us.
See, I'm going to wait till the winter to get it because I want to see what kind of bundles they have this year.
Yeah, the bundles at the
Yeah.
holiday are always nice.
Since that game's coming out in March,
February?
February,
Yeah.
then I can get bundles. I can play a lot before then, and then get my other stuff. I still have stuff from PlayStation and what is it from like PS3? I still had a lot of digital games. I wonder if they still keep them. Like I think I had the whole Final Fantasy digital series on there. But we'll see. This is from like PS3 era.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff doesn't cross over, unfortunately, but
Oh,
that may be one of them things that expands out in the future, too,
that's depressing.
Yeah. You can also
Can't
play
remember.
the superior version of Final Fantasy VII on the PS4.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, with the 3x speed and,
Yeah.
invincibility and all, if you just kind of want to...
Just get the story real quick.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, fuck you, Emerald Weapon, I'm just going to dick around with you and kill you with fire materia. Yeah, there's some fun shit you can do with that one, Yeah. Well, I guess for Game of the Show, I was really torn. It was between Horizon and We Happy Few. I mean, they were the two that really showed me the most. And I think I'm going to go with We Happy Few. So, like,
Yeah.
anybody
Just to be
who wants to
different.
call me a PlayStation fanboy can just shove it because that was,
Is that a Microsoft exclusive?
I don't think it is. It said first on console on
Okay.
Xbox. So, I mean, it will come to PlayStation, But, like, that game, dude, if that game is what it looks like it is, oh, man. Like, that just looks so trippy, so reminiscent of BioShock. Like, I just have so many questions about that world, what's happening. I want to know more about the story, the characters. Like, that game just left me, like, just, like, very amped. Like, it gave me that, like, can't wait for Christmas Day to get here feel, Whereas Horizon was, like, the thing that I was like, that looks cool. I think Guerrilla's got something. And then what they did was just confirmed it. And I was like, all right, it does look solid. Like, Like,
I
We
want to know what
Happy
the
Few was the
gameplay
one
is
that...
for We Happy Few, though.
Yeah, that was just a game that came out of nowhere. It could be a disaster. Compulsion Games may not be a good studio. I don't know anything about them.
What's their name?
Compulsion
Oh.
Games. Yeah. So, I'm not familiar with them, but fuck, man, if that hits, man, that's a strong contender for my game of the year, like, So,
Yeah, they only had one game.
yeah, what was it?
Contrast?
I didn't play Contrast.
Yeah, never heard of it. But it has the same artwork, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, well, I get. All right. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess we'll see. All in all, E3 2016, I thought it might be a bit of a down year because, like, there's all this changes going on behind the scenes with the show. I gotta admit, dude, everybody came out pretty strong. Like, So, it makes me think that maybe E3 ain't dead quite yet, Changing? Probably. Dead? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's dead. I don't think so.
Chris, I think me and you, next year, we got to get media badges, get our asses out there.
Definitely.
You know.
Let's get out there, man.
Yeah. Drug me up and put me down with the cargo storage on the plane.
We're going to get you a large dark dog kennel and just toss you under.
Yeah. Elephant tranquilizers and I'll be fine.
Dude,
So,
I would love to go to an E3 as press.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they're opening it up to the public now on the late days, so I think that trend's going to push further and further back.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was like a thing this week where like the people were able to just get in like pack style. So, as the big publishers kind of started to pull away, I think somebody was like, hey, if we let the people in, they'll stay. Because it's like all the big guys were at PAX because it's like you want people to have a chance to play your game. I think the same thing with E3.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
All right, so like it's friggin' 1:30 here on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure we have just smashed through our biggest show record.
I think this broke through the Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it breaks my heart to think the Final Fantasy VII ain't the longest episode anymore. But, all good things come to an end. And
we could always do another Final Fantasy VII one, just make sure it's longer.
Dude, I said I got more to talk about with that game. Like, trust me. That is not the last Final Fantasy VII episode of this podcast. So, yeah, definitely going to be more of that. But there's just so much to get to tonight with all the Game of Thrones, all the E3 shit.
Yes,
like
Game of Thrones.
Oh man, like this is great though because I was so worked up after Game of Thrones. Now I've kind of like gotten it out of my system.
Yeah, man.
Back down. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now I can just appreciate how good it was. That
no
Ramsay
longer
got
full
eaten by
mass,
dogs.
I can think straight.
Yeah.
That whole like lick. Whew.
Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. All right, so you guys want to wrap this shit up?
Let's wrap it up.
I suppose.
Okay. Well, Matt, thanks for joining us again.
Oh,
Matt,
pleasure.
He's the Gamecast's veteran. We're here every week, twitch.tv/the_Malgadar. We'll be here next week. We're doing the Game of Thrones wrap-up. We're going to probably do this big season review, so that's going to be big time. The podcast, God knows when it's going to come out this week because it's already 1:30. But when it does come out, you'll find it on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Just search Collective Gamescast. That's out there. You can get it on the website, collectivegc.com. If you want to get in touch with us, hit me up on Twitter at the Malgadar. Hit Chris up at ChrisBCGC. Got it right this week. Haha. Hit the show up. We are at the Collective GC on Twitter. You can send in questions, topic suggestions for the show, or you can just be like, yo, I want to come on the show. I want to hang out, be part of the podcast. Always cool with that. You can also just email topics, questions, or requests to come on the show, collectivegamescast@gmail.com. Every week, Chris. I always fuck one up every week.
Every week, dude.
But thanks to everybody in the chat, ASD, Nikita Bananas. I always mess her name up for some reason. Dimmel, Normal. You guys were all, glad you all came around. And anybody else who was in the chat and was a little more quiet, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I wonder if that guy donated. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Until next week, keep gaming. Be good.
Be good.
Man, I promised I wouldn't get heavy on this joint. I can't help it, man. I gotta be me.
I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. Okay. I was a youngin', maybe 7 or 8, when I was up late playing games 4 hours straight. Babysitter on the couch trying to get a freak on. I'm passing level after level thinking I'ma be Pong. But little did I know they didn't have any endings. Every couple of levels I would go back to the beginning. Hard lesson to learn, but I recovered fine. Couldn't beat Pitfall and got tired of trying. But when the NES came around, I had to get down. If you ain't have it on the block, block, then you was bound to get clown. My game was Super Mario, I played it to death. First to get 100 men kicking turtles on the step. Learned that from Game Pro, but it's a shame though. Nowadays video games ain't the same, bro. Too complicated and they ain't worth the price. You know something, they a lot like life, and that's why I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. Alright, now follow me here. Say I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Say I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I know you are, but what am I? 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 I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. You know what? I beat every game in front of me. My peoples wanted none of me. Ran skills in video games, they couldn't front on me. Mom knew how to punish me. Take away the cords till I thought they used the AC adapter from my keyboard. That's when I knew that it was something amazing. My boys would get in trouble, I was cool cause I stayed in. Latchkey kid, home alone like Macaulay. And 20 years later, hosting Halo parties. Cause I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to. I just can't seem to grow up. I said I just can't seem to grow up. But you know what? What? I don't think I want to.
Songs for anybody who's ever been teased for being a nerd. Don't sweat it, it's gonna be alright, man. Fads come and go, but intelligence, it never went out of style. Keep reading them books, though. But, lose the suspenders and the pocket protector. Mega Ran signing off. Over and out.